This podcast brought to you by Digital Diamond Entertainment.
Run the intro.
So when am I getting paid for this?
Kind of like a podcast. Sort of a podcast-ish.
What's this ish?
Okay, that's right.
Some material may be inappropriate for children under 13.
Ayaga yaga yay! Hey! Welcome back to the Podcast-ish podcast, where us four assholes dig to the bullshit to get to the bottom of human behavior. We believe words are important, and the facts don't give a fuck about your feelings. So sit back and strap in, because this week the set goes in on unconscious racial bias. Welcome back. This is our 6-month episode. We have been live and in effect for 6 months, and I can't believe you guys been seriously listening to us, idiots, for that long.
I know for real, because we are idiots. You know, if I did breed a gal at the beginning of this podcast,
She'd almost be.
I could have a premature child by now.
I was about to say you'd almost have a fully baked cake.
Fully baked cake. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Show.
Yeah, if me did breed a gal.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's very that's very Caribbean. For all the non-Caribbean people out there, that means if I impregnated a female.
Yeah. We wanted to say thank you, and we were gonna give out bags of cash or maybe strip teases, but instead we decided to give you guys a regular Wednesday podcast.
Two things I'm definitely not doing.
That's why we just give them regular Wednesday.
Yeah. Bags of cash and strip teasing. You ain't getting
There's something wrong with that equation. If you're strip teasing, you're supposed to be getting the bags of cash.
Well, not if we're giving it as a gift. I don't think that's more of a gift. It's more of a curse.
Yes, very true. Nobody want to see any of us strip tease.
It's true. I have the Cash App, though, so if you guys want to donate to me.
Not so subtle pitch.
It's what it is, man. Can you guys believe it's been 6 months?
No, I can't.
We started in the Yellow Studio.
Yes.
We moved to, then we moved into the Mic Check Entertainment Studios.
Yes.
And now we in our own.
In our own studio. The Skyline Studio.
Studio.
With Phil Collins and Bounty Killer.
Fuck? And just so you know, we don't have any of the sound effects today because Will's ass is rendering down some video, so...
Still. From 8 o'clock this fucking morning. Fuck.
So you're going to be hearing Will doing all the...
Yeah, he's gonna
sound
be
effects.
He's gonna be our police academy guy today.
As you guys heard in the intro, we are going to go in on unconscious racial bias. But before that, let's get intros out of the way. To my right, black man, you picking his fucking forearm off.
I was thinking about my right. So I'm waiting on Vex. Nah, I have a hair that's growing here. Rogue. It's a rogue hair. It's not great, so I'm not worried about it, but it's just a rogue hair.
Hey man, if you got gray hair, fuck it. Fuck with us. We grown now.
Yeah, I love gray hairs. I can't wait till I'm salt and pepper. I'm gonna be so distinguished.
Yeah.
I'm Will Hayes. You may know me from other podcasts such as I Want All the Smoke, The Will Hayes Show, and the nigga that helps your wife screw in the light bulbs when you're at work.
Wow. Screw in the light bulbs.
Euphemism.
Yeah, I'm also saved under your girl and on your girl's phone under Domino's because I always deliver.
All right.
And I like Perrier water, short walks on the beach, puppies. I like full-grown puppies and mastodons.
Mastodons.
And to his right, fuck my life.
Yeah. This is the one and only inevitable gorilla, John Vex.
Right. Say that one more time. I keep thinking you're saying the inevitable gorilla.
That's exactly what I'm
saying. Is it what you're saying? Okay. Dog. I'm Domino's. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
Keep going.
Man.
I apologize.
Yeah, the Chinese white and black silverback.
Yeah. I like it.
The caramel experience. That's my personal favorite. As well as the Galdem sugar. You know. I don't like anything that Will likes except for puppies.
Full-grown
and
puppies.
by puppies, I mean them chest puppies, you know what I'm saying? Anyway.
This is why we can never get sponsored.
Yo, you see why I want to change the name of the sound crew to Animal Planet? Like, we are some...
Yeah, you know the ones that fit in Victoria's Secret.
Jesus.
Right? Yeah.
You guys are... I can't believe
but
I've been
not the
dealing with
hungry
this shit.
ones. I don't want a hungry...
For 6 months,
No, you don't
I've
like
been
the
dealing with this
mampies, eh?
bullshit.
I like a welfare.
Can I get some help? Please, can somebody help me with these guys? I don't understand how the fuck's going on, man.
Yo, there's an app for help.
What, colored people be gone?
No, it's like a psychiatrist app. You just text them. They talk.
Yeah,
with you.
it's I can't remember what it is. I should actually have it offhand. I promoted it on the Smoke and on this one a while ago.
a couple times.
Yeah.
And who are you?
Just a guy
Okay.
hanging out.
All right.
I'm I'm Pernell Ramlal, aka Potty Mouth P, aka Pausecast P.
Pausecast, Pete. When he's done his intros, I'm gonna tell you the story behind Pausecast. You miss a lot on Mondays. Sometimes I really wish you were here on Mondays.
AKA Podcast P, AKA Johnny Adlibs, AKA Yuck, AKA Stankmouth, AKA Don't Leave Your Girl Around Me, AKA
The
Unruly Coolie. Those are our sound effects. You guys like them?
And the crowd went wild, like
warm
Animal
of- a
Planet.
warm-
A warm of applause, guys. A warm of applause.
You guys got
Where has Mikey been?
He has been in Bali.
He's still in Bali?
He's in Bali and Indonesia and everywhere else around there. He's actually doing backstage and music videos for
The Moffats.
For the Moffats. Frank Moffat and his sons are out there and doing a bunch of things. I'm not sure when he's gonna be back. He's been out there for about a month and a half already. He
Wow.
should be back mid December, I believe,
Okay.
or end of November.
Right.
Hopefully he's back soon. I miss the guy, man. It's hard to get in touch with him. I think I talked to him once on Instagram.
Yeah, I hit him on WhatsApp. I'm like, where the fuck you been? And he told me, I'm like, oh shit, my bad.
I told you
Save your
I tell you
data.
3 times a week.
Yeah, you know how often I listen to you?
Never.
Like half a time a week.
Yeah, I get that much. Well, I appreciate you, Doug. Thanks for that.
And it's not Mondays or Wednesdays. It's like
Damn.
it's like an off Thursday. I recollect. I do not recall.
You guys got any shout outs this week?
Yo, shout out to everybody that's tuning into all of our shit. Shout out to, I was driving down the street and thinking about it. Like we making moves. So shout out to everybody that's helping us do that.
Yo, for real. I get messages from people that I haven't spoken to in 10, 15 years.
Are they asking you for money, or they're trying to sell you like a pyramid scheme?
No. No, well, no, they're like, yo, I heard
Amway is really good.
right? No, a buddy of mine messaged me this week. He said, yo, I heard the podcast. I'm like, yo, I haven't talked to you in like 15 years, dog. He's yeah, no.
Wow.
So he's like, yeah, I really like your take on this. Unfortunately, because of the, I guess, somewhat controversial topics we have, all of them, most of the people that message me don't want to be named on the podcast. They don't want to be associated, not with us, but with our opinions.
Why they pussy?
Well, it's not that they're a pussy. I think not everybody is as open as we are and able to speak about it.
So, but then so they're not open to speak about it, but they don't want people to know that they listen to it.
Well, here's the thing:
Or
is that-
support a certain point of view.
Support a certain point of view, because they have most people that I know that talk to me say that have corporate jobs, and if it was to get out, something could happen.
That
right?
they listen to this.
Yeah.
But we have
That's how fucked up the
everything
world
that we
is.
talk about has at least 3 points of view on it.
Well, that's the thing, is that we have been called an echo chamber.
A who?
An echo chamber.
Who?
An echo chamber. Echo. I hate y'all niggas.
Explain echo chamber to the people like me that don't.
An echo chamber is one opinion being reinforced by 2 other people, or in this case, 2 other people, just going back and just talking in circles.
I reinforce that opinion.
Yeah, so do I. What do you?
Okay.
I echo that, yes.
Okay.
But do you echo the opinion that the people who listen to us but don't want to be mentioned that they listen to us are pussy?
The people that make
I'll alienate all our fucking listeners. These guys are pussy.
No,
Damn.
no, that's not the thing. The thing, like I keep saying, after 6 months, we keep saying that this podcast is to incite debate, incite conversation.
Right.
We want people to have these conversations openly with their friends, right? And have, I think that's been kind of going by the wayside. And I keep getting all these. I get nasty messages too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
you've read some about me that we've gotten, which
Right.
is a lot of fun. You know, I think I have to quote my boy Buju Banton, mina response for that, right? Because if you're gonna come with some nasty nonsense, or you're not gonna come with any way to back up an argument or a point of view, then why are you bothering saying anything?
Right.
And that doesn't make any sense to me.
Exactly, and I give an open invitation to, like I've said it on the morning P, I've said it on I Want on the Smoke. I'm now saying it on this podcast again and again and again. There's an open invitation for anybody out there that wants to come on this podcast and debate us. Bring your topic. You pick the time and place. We will be there. It's not. This is not the end all be all. Like I keep saying, this is about sparking that debate and sparking conversation and having common sense take over instead of irrational human behavior. It's the weirdest thing to me, man. What's going on in society these days? And you know what? It's it can't be helped. People are just so far gone that.
But yeah, it's like, again, I love to quote, but I hate to quote it at the same time because a lot of people don't catch it. But like my boy Collie Bud said, while you in your feelings, high set a grade, man, a smoke up.
So don't smoke weed when you're in your feelings.
If you're in your feelings or from you in your feelings, me dey on a high grade flight and a fly high. Where you say? Carry nothing from up a mile high. Right?
So
in other words, you want the translation? Right? While you're caught in your feelings, I'm doing big things. I can't hear what you're saying because I'm all the way up there.
Truth.
So I'll tell you like this. I've never seen a king battle a peasant.
Yep. No need
I've never seen an elephant swat at a fly.
Right.
And I mean, at the end of the day, I always take the rule, like, I never look down on somebody unless I'm trying to help them up. And if somebody has something to say about what we're doing, in order for me to notice them, I have to look down on them.
It's true. Well, I don't even think of it like that. I think of it like we're all humans on this earth, right? And we should all have and everybody has opinions, right?
Yes,
absolutely.
There's some grays and some lizards.
That's true. Maybe but there's some people need to have their opinions backed up or reinforced by facts, and others just like to have them based off of irrational thought or outrage culture, or whatever you guys want to be,
And there's
irrational thought, right? And that's
I 100% agree, and because we have, of course, on this podcast, a lot of facts to back up, not even to back up opinions, just to. I think it's not an opinion. As soon as fact goes into it, then that makes it a fact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like a theory isn't a
right.
theory once it's proven. But I have opinions on stuff, and sometimes my experience doesn't reflect the overall facts. So the things that we talk about, is never people listen to us and say, well, it's an echo chamber, because they're looking at a black and white type of situation. Whereas even if there is facts to a certain situation, you got to think of, like, let's say if we're talking about just off the cuff, police killing blacks. Right. It is a fact that it's not a huge majority of that going on.
Right.
But if you're a black man trying just to survive, and I mean going to college, walking past the gangs from a kid, and going all that stuff, and you see police brutality all the time, the facts may not reflect what you're seeing,
or even your
experience,
right? Or even what the narrative that that media, one side of the media, any kind of media you're seeing with these algorithms these days, you're going to get the confirmation bias in all your feeds, right? From what you see and what you hear, and all these things, right? And you're going to have an echo chamber reverberating in your brain because of all these things you see with your friends as well, right?
Yeah. So I think the bottom line is, just because we may agree on a few things or many things or whatever,
and disagree,
that does not constitute an echo chamber.
And we disagree on a lot of things.
Yeah, we do disagree on a lot of things.
And that's the thing about debate, is that what I really want to get across is the thing about debate is that we can have debate, and if facts are brought up, we have our computers in front of us, we look up the facts on the spot. We're able to, all three of us, I think, are able to say, you know what, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Right? I was wrong about that. What are the actual stats? What's this and what's that, right? And we come to an agreement. We say, okay, listen, this is how it is, because this is what the facts show, or this is what the numbers show. We're all very science based. We're all very scientific theory based.
Yeah.
Right. So if there's a theory about something that may be caught in the vapors somewhere, right, but it hasn't been peer tested, or it hasn't been gone through the scientific theory, scientific method, we're not really going to take it into effect. Yeah, and bring it into our conversation, because if I bring something like that in, you two will just destroy that concept. Yeah, right. Like if Will brought it in, Kobo and I would destroy it. Right. That's why this show would not work with two people.
So what I want to say is this, though. The show would not work.
Are you done with your phone now?
No, I'm always going to be on my phone.
Okay.
And 150%. Just because I'm on my phone doesn't mean I'm not paying attention.
No, it means you're 100% not paying attention.
It does it? Okay. Because he hasn't done a podcast with me for the last 6 months. Shameless plug. That's my gunshot. But
I'm sorry, what?
These people that are talking about we're an echo chamber, and these people talking about that we're 100% biased. I would really like to see what their social media posts and the comments under their posts look like. Right. Because at the end of the day, don't if you're a midget, don't call a munchkin short.
Right. You and I specifically. I know Kobo doesn't really deal with social media, but you and I specifically will.
Nobody agrees with me.
We post things. We literally post things on social media and we'll have 200 comments in an hour.
Yeah, but you do it for debate. I do it to,
Right.
to watch the world burn.
I know it's funny as hell to me. I
Shit that I don't
watch
even-
your shit. I'm just like, yeah.
Yo, I
I'll do
post
it for
shit that I
debate.
don't even have an opinion on just because I know abortion. I have no opinion on that shit, but I'm posting the hell out of it.
Right.
Let's see what everybody else wants to kill each other over.
But at the same time, you're doing the same thing. You're posting it and you're watching people debate it on your feed, right?
Yeah.
I will go on and I'll give my opinion on it, right? Because I'm willing to put myself out there and say this is what I think about this topic. If you don't agree with me, great. Tell me why. And then we can go into it, right? But Facebook isn't the place for having long debates and having. I've had people write fucking novels.
I think it may be now.
No, it's
I
not.
kinda
Podcasting,
disagree. It may
listen,
be now.
That's why I have an open invitation. If you guys disagree with anything we say, we can always readdress a topic we've already done. Come on with your facts. I'm going to go air quote facts because usually we do the facts. Come on with your facts. Come on with two of your buddies or one of your guys, whatever. We'll have a 2-on-2 debate. It's no big deal. We have no problems. We'll not back away from our opinions because that's what we feel. These are our opinions. This is what we do. We do this for a reason, right? We all have strong voices. We all have strong minds. We all have strong opinions on these topics.
But I agree. But I still disagree with the Facebook not being the place. I think Facebook is exactly the place, and that's what it should be designed for. And society has skewed it because Facebook, quote unquote, is social media. And what social media basically is a group of individuals gathering, referencing, and giving opinion.
Right.
And then comment, and then giving opinion
Right.
on said
I agree
opinion.
with that.
So I think that's what Facebook should be.
I agree.
used for.
I agree with that. But when we're having a debate, some of us, I mean, you and I and Kobe, we can all speak for. We go on for paragraphs before somebody else would jump in.
Yeah.
Right. Now, Facebook isn't designed for that. It's designed for 2 or 3 sentences.
No, that's Twitter. Facebook, because you don't have a limit.
No, I know that, but you can't really read it all. You can't. The way it's designed, especially on mobile, you can't really get to everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, and this is why I don't use Facebook a lot for any type of even communication, to tell you the truth.
Because my man's does not want to pay for anything data. My man's is very responsible with his money.
Very cheap.
Yes,
That's a nice way of saying.
No,
cheap.
I can't say he's cheap.
No,
because
here's the thing. He buys all the music shit we ever fucking want. So.
Not even that. I've eaten lovely off of this motherfucker for no reason a few times.
I did it for 6 years, dog.
I've not seen this man be cheap. I've seen him be frugal. I love that word, frugal.
Frugal.
You just learn it?
Nah, but it just rings.
Yeah, you
frugal.
just learned it.
I've just learned frugal. 38 fucking years old.
No,
Frugal.
but the
Say
thing,
converse.
Converse.
See?
No, I know what converse is. I know converse.
You just do it to piss me off now. I know you do.
No, I do. I say what I feel comfortable with saying.
Right, that's the problem with society.
They say what they're comfortable with.
No, you.
I'm the problem with
Damn.
society. I'm the savior of sobriety.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm saving sober people.
Put some vodka in that fucking Perrier.
I will in a second.
All right.
If I do it now, I'm gonna drink it, and I really have to pee, so I'm just
Okay.
waiting for.
Okay, Kobo, go ahead.
Yeah, no. With Facebook, I don't communicate on it very much, etc., simply because of the fact that
Tell
it
me
gets
when.
tedious to read through a paragraph or two of somebody's response.
Right.
That's my only thing. You can debate on Facebook. As far as whether it's the best place to debate, I would disagree.
Right.
Simply because of the fact that after I read 2 lines of your response, I just get bored.
But have we been conditioned for that now? I feel like we've been conditioned for that because when
Short
it was
attention span.
MySpace, when it was MySpace, when it was ICQ and MSN Messenger, and forums. Like I used to be in the Duck Down forum. Shout out to Duck Down and all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Home of the original gun clappers.
Yeah, OGC. Like, and that was like the first forum I was ever a part of, and we would debate the fuck out of there. Like, I don't even think we talked about hip hop that much in that forum. And it would be paragraphs upon paragraphs, and you sit there and read it, get the motherfuckers. And I think it's dope because you can actually have a real debate. Whereas you know, in a real debate, you have a time limit. You say what you need to say,
Yep.
and then there's a rebuttal.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas then you can do that in written form because you can't really interrupt a paragraph.
Yeah, very true.
Bet me.
But if you interrupt a paragraph, all you're doing is stopping the reading and going in. So that you're interrupting yourself.
Yeah.
Because from that paragraph, you're gathering knowledge and then you're coming back. So if you interrupt that paragraph, you're just interrupting yourself.
Well, yeah.
That's just detrimental to your own
There's
point.
only been 2 people on Facebook that have actually made a difference when they're trying to debate me. That have actually changed. 2 people.
Were they master debaters?
Stop.
Oh, with the cunning linguists.
One was your cousin.
I'm a
Owen.
Hayes. You want to narrow that down?
Owen.
Owen. Yeah, well, because Owen's brilliant.
O'Connell's a guy I look at. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll debate you on Facebook.
Yeah.
And O'Connell's welcome to come on this podcast whenever he wants.
But
so.
he's one of the few that he's one of the few that debates, and even if you don't agree, and it's a heavy debate, it doesn't go into personal jabs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I stopped reading y'all's when y'all would go back and forth, because now y'all are citing shit from books. Like, I feel like the both of you are. Yeah. And they start typing what you're reading with the fucking notes and whoever the fuck did the study back in 1862.
No, and you know what it is, and that's just a thirst for knowledge. I'm hungry for knowledge every day. Listen, I didn't graduate high school, right? I don't care. I didn't graduate high school, right? And for me, it's always been a point of contention because I'm one of those guys that should have been moved up twice a grade, right? I should have been moved up, and school is just boring for me. So I have a thirst for knowledge, right? And it's one of those things where I can find somebody on my level or greater than me to impart some knowledge on me. I take it, right? Especially if I can have a logical debate and a keen level debate.
I think if used properly, social media, not just to single out Facebook, I think if used properly, social media could be the best place to debate, or could be a good place to debate. Because I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes you're not going to get someone that can debate. You know, it's going to fly into where we are to get on there. But I think a majority of the people aren't doing it right, and I think too many feelings are involved now.
Yeah,
I agree.
Upset.
And not only that,
personal.
not only that, but it's because everybody knows everybody from around the world, right? So you have different views from around the world, and people don't understand those views. So that's where you start getting into these unconscious biases, right?
Yeah.
Like that segue.
Yes, I love it.
Fantastic.
I love it.
They take. So we're gonna start getting into the topic here. So the unconscious bias there is where you have people that don't know a background of somebody else. Do we have a definition? I don't think there's an actual definition, but I can.
Unconscious bias.
I know there's
you'll be able to find something on the Google.
There's unconscious bias training
on
on
the
Wikipedia. There's nothing on Google that I can see. Unconscious bias is.
Well, then that brings up a question for me then. If there is no set definition for unconscious bias, how can you have unconscious bias training?
That's what I'm.
That's just a little bit of food for thought.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get to that.
How can you train someone to do something that has been undefined or not do something that is as yet defined?
Right. So here I'm gonna try and define it here. It says bias is a prejudice. Thanks. in favor of or against one thing, person, or group compared with another, usually in a way that's considered to be unfair.
Right.
Biases may be held by an individual, group, or institution and can have negative or positive consequences. So unconsciously, that would be what you were doing. You would be doing it without knowing you were doing it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Can you get off Instagram and focus, please?
No, I'm working.
That's not...
Well, it's the first thing that popped up, but I'm still working.
Okay.
Calm down.
All right.
So then it's
Can I see?
Hold on. Let me just get the work out the way, and I'll show you.
All right.
so then it's literally just having a prejudice against something unconsciously. You don't know you have this prejudice.
Right, and when it comes to light that you do know it, you can have. I guess the unconscious bias training would be them bringing that to the forefront of your mind instead of unconsciously, and you knowing about it, which then wouldn't make it unconscious, which would then render it useless.
But it's like,
Wow.
that makes sense. But usually with the unconscious bias, you don't even know that you're conscious of that bias. For example, they had that test with the little girls, and the little girls were giving a doll. One was a white blonde-headed doll. Mm-hmm. The other was a black nappy-headed doll. And all they asked these little girls, actually it was kids, boys and girls. They were saying, why was it nappy?
Why gotta I say nappy?
Because that's the term.
Could have just said no. It's not. That's the derogatory term for it.
Nappy is not derogatory. Nappy actually came from black people called it nappy before it was used as a derogatory term.
Okay, so
nappy is only derogatory when it's coincided with a derogatory term, such as nappy-headed hoes. Nappy is an actual description of kinky or tight curls in hair. Thank you. Anyways, as I was saying, they gave them both the dolls, and they said which one is pretty and which one is ugly.
Prove that.
Prove what?
I'm looking up nappy. Go ahead.
You're looking up nappy. Yo, this is the internet. Anything you find to go into your opinion, I can find the same thing.
No, I'm typing in nappy. I'm typing in nappy and see what it says.
Shit, Wikipedia is controlled by a fat dude in Michigan. Like,
did you find that out on Wikipedia?
I did. No. No, it was on didyouknow.com or something like that. There's this dude in Michigan. I think it's Michigan, and he's known for being, I think it's like 85% of the updates and entries into Wikipedia.
Because
all
of
this,
him.
Yeah, so all this dude does is research shit and then add to Wikipedia pages. Like, it's fucking weird, but that's not my point. And
Historically used as a derogatory term to describe the hair of black people, especially women, many of whom have reappropriated the term.
right, so it's
So you
historically used as a derogatory term.
So you
but
were
it's
wrong.
Not, okay, I was wrong. Whatever, you can have
Thank
that.
you.
You can have that W.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nigga.
If what the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, so they're giving these dolls. They're giving dolls to say which one's ugly and which one's beautiful, and a majority of them pointed to the white fair-haired, saying this one was beautiful, and the black one, this one's ugly, and they said, why? Oh, she's so dark. She did it. Even black kids, white kids, Asian kids, all these kids, right? So that's a subconscious cultural bias at such an early age because they don't know why.
Or
it's just they're back in the back of their heads because of media, because of a whole bunch of different things. They're like, well, she's ugly because she's dark.
Mm-hmm. Or it's a genetic preference to a fairer skin.
Well, I don't know.
You
because
don't have a
think about it
genetic
this way,
preference
right?
at
Because
four-
this
at 8 years
You
old.
don't have any social
this
media
was done in the
fucking
US,
bias then.
right? This study you're citing, or the
Say it again?
The test was done in the US.
I believe so.
Okay. Case in point. Remember many Ramadans ago, my father telling me an experience he had as a child, right? So, as I'm sure most of our regular listeners are aware, I'm a very multiracial person, and so are my parents. My dad, when he was a child, his neighbors were 100% of African descent.
Mm-hmm.
And he remembers one Christmas morning coming outside.
Not getting any presents?
Yeah, he was poor as dirt. Anyway.
But he probably had the best Christmases.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
I bet you it was just nothing but love and family.
Oh, yeah.
Right, but yeah, he comes outside, he's playing out in the yard or whatever, and he hears some ruckus at the neighbor's house. The neighbor's daughter is kicking up a fuss, and she storms out of the house with one of her new Christmas presents, which happened to be a doll that was black.
And it was a white girl?
No, it's a black girl,
Okay.
right? She got a black doll for Christmas, and she storms out of the house with this black doll in hand, proceeds to throw it in the yard and yell at her mom, "I don't want no nigga dolly." Now, this is in the Caribbean.
So nigga dolly, whatever, just whatever, right? For us.
No, nigga dolly is a black doll.
No, I know that, but in the Caribbean, if you say nigga in the Caribbean, it's whatever.
Yeah,
It really
but
is.
she didn't want a black doll for
Yeah, it
Christmas.
just means black.
There's a lot of good doctors in
Right.
the U.S.
Really, really unusual. Now, is that unconscious bias?
Well, it would be
I would say
It's
yes.
that social
Yeah,
training.
Or is it social training?
But social training is what creates an unconscious bias.
Right, yeah.
She's not consciously. She doesn't consciously. It's ingrained in her.
Yeah.
So it's a second nature. When you say anything subconscious that you do is second nature. It just happens.
No.
Like your heart beating.
No, what I find interesting about that story. So, I mean, back in those days when my father was a child, television wasn't prevalent, right? In fact, it had probably just come on the market, and there weren't a lot of Caucasians in Trinidad.
Was there light skins?
There were mixed people, yeah,
Now,
right? But I wouldn't say.
Well,
Like,
that's like
it wasn't
fair-skinned.
mixed. It wasn't mixed to the point it is now.
was there fairer skinned?
Oh yeah.
So when you're at restaurants and when you're at a restaurant, what was the complexion and the look of the servers, and what was the complexion and the look of the cooks?
Probably all fairly dark skinned.
Even the servers, though,
Even the
people
servers,
the
yeah.
waitresses and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I noticed when I was in Mexico, the people that were serving you, the people that did the shows, the entertainers, and they were all the fair skinned with more Caucasian features.
Yeah.
Whereas the darker skinned and the ones with
darkies?
the more Mexican
They're cooking.
features, they're the cooking, they're the cooks, they're the cleaners, And then you got to think the Caribbean is basically. And this is no offense to anybody, but you know that old saying, we should just find an island and put all the niggers on it?
That's pretty
That's
much
the
what it was.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
They just dropped a bunch of niggas off.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure that cultural bias is it's probably subconscious down generations to where
Right.
parents don't even know it. Like
Right,
you
so-
can even hear parents saying, I can't even think of like the words I would say, but there's a reason why there was a huge movement for people to say black is beautiful. The black is not the bad guy. The black hat's not always the bad guy. Black is not a negative connotation. Even if you say black is a negative connotation, you're not maybe in that specific situation or in that movie or in whatever that literature you're reading may not be talking about black people, but that still hits you with that subconscious.
And that's what I was talking about when I said genetics, interracial, unconscious racial bias. That's kind of where I wanted to go with that. Is that through generations? I know epigenetics isn't really a thing, but
what do you mean by epigenetics? You got to hit me with that.
Epigenetics is the one where you can change your downstream of DNA by doing something.
Oh yeah, we talked
in your life, right?
Yeah,
So we did epigenetics here. But it's like when you have. This is where I'm confused about it. I don't think epigenetics is a thing, but I think genetics when it pertains to racial bias is a thing. And let me explain what I mean. You have that was my phone, Doug. You have like you said 4 or 5 generations now going backward. Let's just drop all the niggers on an island, right?
Yeah.
Where
you hit the hard R on that one.
Yeah, so did you when you said it.
Did I say it?
Yeah.
With the hard R?
Yeah.
My bad.
That's why I said it like that. When you have 3 or 4 generations in.
Is that why you said it?
No, I just wanted to say it one time.
You one of those niggas now? Fuck you.
3 or 4 generations in, when you're coming up and you have this this story passed down, generation to generation to generation. There's so much we don't know about the consciousness and spirit and things. It could be ingrained in not DNA but RNA. Could be ingrained in.
So you're thinking
the brain synapses and things, while passed on as a genetic trait.
So you're thinking unconscious bias could stem from genetics somehow?
I think so.
Okay.
And honestly, I can't back it up with anything solid.
Yeah. No, I can say anecdotally, right? And you can look in a place that's been fairly, shall we say, isolated culturally. Japan, right? Japan, I think, would be a very good example of that. So we look at the Western world. I'm going to compare and contrast here. You look at the Western world. AYT. Right? And the Western world seems to, and I'm going to include the Caribbean, Latin America in this as well, right? And Europe. Sorry. There seems to be more value placed on lighter skin.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
But okay, now
that's almost everywhere throughout the world.
Right? No, this is what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah, even apartheid and shit like that, right?
But you got
so you look at Japan, right? Japan, even though they are culturally isolated historically, and they've always had shall we say, a problem with gaijin, which is what they're derogatory to for foreigners, right?
They even make the ghost stories out of gaijin.
Yeah, right. But you look at their media, you look at any anime, and almost all of the characters have a very Caucasian look to them.
But I think a huge reason behind that is if you look at everywhere in the world, everywhere in the world has indigenous people.
Yes.
And
there's still a few places in the world. There's only two or three that are still in the world,
like completely isolated.
Yeah, and you can't fly over them. Like you see
it's actually
like Wakanda.
India, no, kind of like that. But
you can't fly over Wakanda.
Indian airspace.
It's holographic.
India declared one tribe, the Seragelis or something like that, in as their own sovereign nation. You can't fly over. You can't go within 10 miles of their island.
You know why? Because the people that have died.
Yeah, because
this is not for their protection. This is for everybody outside's protection.
There was an oil tanker, a tanker that went by there and it got stuck on the reef.
Yeah,
right. High centered or whatever on the reef.
Didn't they get slaughtered? Was
stuck there for 2 days. Stuck there for 2 days. And there was about 50 of these tribes when they came out. Well,
and this is in India.
It's an island. It's closer to. Shit, where the hell did they say? I was honestly just listening today. But it's under Indian rule.
Right.
So, but they swam out to this big tanker in a little canoe or two or three canoes, whatever.
And we're talking sari wearing Indians, right?
Yes.
East India.
Yeah, East India.
Okay.
Yeah, East India. India.
Red
Yeah.
dot, no feather.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Red dot India.
There's some unconscious bias right
Yeah.
there. But
But
that's
it,
that was
they
conscious.
swam out, and it was like after only 2 days, and the people on the Freightliner were like, "Listen, you have to get us out of here because they're coming with 7-foot long spears and bow and arrows that are that long and firing at us." And they couldn't get onto the liner obviously because it was high centered, and unless you drop a ladder down, you're not gonna fucking get them up, right?
Yeah.
But you can actually see, this huge Freightliner on Google Maps by this island right now because it was left there. It was abandoned, right? Because nobody could go back to get it because they were in that restricted territory,
Wow.
right? And it's one of those things where it's like I wonder what their bias is. Do they have bias?
Okay, now as far as India goes,
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Right.
No,
but-
it's all good.
Yeah, no, but as far as India goes, India definitely, I think, is another nation that I find interesting, right? Like,
Oh, they're racist as fuck in India.
Yeah, no, this is, and they're racist against themselves,
Right.
Right,
So
so-
are Japanese though.
So, but yeah, with India, they actually have a system in place,
And that was my unconscious
Right.
racial bias.
yeah, no, the caste system, right? So you have like 5 castes, and the highest one is typically a lighter skinned Indian,
Right, and that's how it was in the Caribbean for a while.
Yeah, whereas the lower caste is a darker skinned Indian.
That's exactly how it is in North America.
So, okay, here's the weird question then. Why does this seem to be a phenomenon in the world?
That's
That's what I was getting at with the genetics thing. Like you don't know where it comes from.
it comes from European rule. Who was the monarchy in India?
Oh, okay, so
But you have to remember the caste system existed before any European set foot in India.
Okay, but did the caste system exist before?
Yeah, it's part
British
of
rule?
Hinduism. It's part of Hinduism, which is the
5,000
oldest religion.
years old.
Okay, so there's
5,000, 50,000. How old?
5,000.
Yeah, 50 is a long time.
I see it as like self-hate comes from self-advantage.
Is it self-hate or societal norms?
Well, the societal norms are not. It could be both.
I suppose.
Like if it's norm,
But-
like if
we're-
it's societal norm doesn't mean it's not self-hate.
Okay, can you
But
describe
my-
self-hate and where would it come from though?
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, please go. You're welcome. You're allowed to speak, nigger.
Self-hate.
Damn.
Self-hate comes from self-advantage. So I can't speak for India and all that because there's probably a lot of there's a deep-rooted history into that, and I don't think myself speaking for myself haven't looked into it or studied enough or looked at any of the domino effects that would have caused that. But there definitely is a domino effect that caused that.
Right.
That was started by Caucasians.
You think so?
I can pretty much guarantee it. Something was implemented, and if it's in Hinduism, it may not even have been in Hinduism from the inception of Hinduism. There's some sort of Caucasians have a real skill
Right.
for discovering something or
Claiming it as
joining
theirs.
not even that joining something, discovering something, even if they or assimilating within something, but steering the pleasant towards their image.
Okay.
Now that's I could only speak on North America, and even with that, I can't speak fully on it. And if
Yeah.
I'm wrong about other areas, then I'll sit here. If we got a whole bunch of history on it, and I'm wrong about other areas, like
No,
when
see,
you're just speaking about
that's-
India, I'll 100% I'm wrong. But if you look at for example, I'm gonna talk about something that I'm familiar with. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about light skin versus dark skin.
Yeah.
Nobody else is having a light skin versus dark skin debate except for black people.
Well, no, it still goes on in India.
Well, like I said, I'm only going to speak on North America. And
Yeah,
I'm only going
yeah,
to speak
sorry,
on something
my
that
bad,
I'm familiar with, right?
yeah.
If I know it 100% goes on in India, but
Yeah.
I can only speculate as to why I know why, and it's only using from what I know
Yeah.
onto that. And I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I don't want to be like 100% wrong.
Yeah.
I don't even know if just they're assholes in India. Maybe. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But as far as light skin versus dark skin, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I've lived in a house where there was 3 cats. They didn't give a fuck. One was gray, one was orange, and one was white with spots.
Actual cats.
Cats, dog.
Thought you were like 70s slang. Like,
Like,
Yeah,
cats.
he's using cats.
Yeah,
He's
the
like,
three
no,
cats,
I'm not
you know.
using cats. I'm not using slang. I'm saying cats, dog.
Okay.
Like feline.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Actual feline.
No, listen. I
But-
just want to interrupt you there. You can go on. I think, what you're saying can most definitely be applied to the African nations. The whole whitening of skin, the skin bleachers, things like that.
Yeah,
right.
but
Can be
that's
applied
because
there.
there's a Western influence
Right.
from
Can be,
us.
Can be a Western influence from the Europeans or from North America, whatever. I don't think that can be portrayed or be directed to the Indian nations or.
That's my whole point. That's why I proceeded with the disclaimer.
Yeah,
I
no,
can
I know,
only
I know.
speak on.
No, I
but
just
I
want-
have no idea why it would be.
Right.
why it would
No, I just
be
want to
in
clarify
India.
that, right? I just want to say,
Yeah.
like, I agree with you. I agree with you. It can come from Africa, and that's where I think the African ones actually came from, right? So,
Well, this whole conversation, I can only speak on what I know, what I've experienced, and what I've looked up, and I can only speak on North America and what I experienced throughout North America and Central America. I have no idea, and some things in Africa and Jamaica. I can't look at why it's happening in India. I honestly have no idea, and just speculating. I speculate that. And I take back the I almost guarantee it because I'm thinking about it, but I speculate that there's some sort of Caucasian influence that has caused that.
Yeah, in
There
India,
has
I
to
would
be
say probably not.
Yeah, and
Right.
it could or couldn't be. If it's not, then I'm wrong. I'll say 100% I'm wrong. But right now, I'm a steadfast and just be like, I feel it's like that's my
Right.
but
And
that's my
that's
subconscious cultural bias
Right.
against
and
Caucasians.
that's from no research, no anything like that. You just
Just
you
your-
feel,
your
just how you
feeling,
feel,
yeah.
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Like, so all that balled into the word I said, speculation.
Yeah. No, it's all, nigga.
SPEC, elation.
You see, every time I look at it, like,
SPEC, you later. But no, so
no, I
but
feel
getting
you.
to the subconscious cultural bias, a subconscious. What are we doing? Subconscious
biases.
Racial and cultural
Racial-
bias.
any,
and
any kind of
cultural-
biases,
any kind of bias,
racial, cultural, societal, whatever biases.
It happens everywhere throughout, and I feel like in today's day and age with quote unquote woke people, we try not to have it with people of other culture.
Yo, can I just interrupt? Yo, that beat sounds sick. They got some recording going on next door. That beat sounds dope.
They're doing
Yeah.
it. This is like the fourth time you interrupted. This is
Sorry.
like I'm trying to make a long story short. You know,
And it's just getting longer.
Well, you're long-winded when it comes to
I'm not. I can't. I have to be long winded. The only time, like, shoot, I need to breathe.
See how long it took him to say I have to breathe?
The main detriment to all cultures is the subconscious racial bias that cultures have within themselves, because that's what's destroying them from within.
Please go in on that a little bit. I didn't understand.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
No, because I didn't understand what the fuck you just said, so say it again.
For example, black people will talk about calling Martha. Black people will talk about raisins and potato salad. Black people will talk about raisins and potato salad. White people always come into the cookout with raisins and potato
What
salad.
the fuck
Yeah,
would
that's
you do
nasty.
that? That's disgusting.
It's
Yeah, it's
nasty.
gross, but it's a joke for against white people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? So black people do that all the time. There's the little different subtle jokes that are funny and Black people don't have those funny jokes for black people. Black people have the homeboy got dreads. I'm really not parlaying with him.
Yeah.
Oh, homeboy's Jamaican. I know if I go to that party, I'm gonna get shot up. Black people have that. Oh, well, he's light skinned. I think I'm more comfortable with him than I am with the dark people. Oh, he's from Sudan. He must be fighting in the club. Oh, he's from the Congo. He must be this, that, and the third. Oh, he's from Sierra Leone. He must be this, that, and the third. The cultural bias within the culture itself that they have against themselves is larger and more detrimental to than what we have. Well, so we say, well, Asians can't drive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
we say
cool,
all
cool.
Africans are crazy.
Right. We say, but we say all Africa's crazy, but we have a debate over who is better, not who can drive better, not who can do this. We have a debate over who is a better person, light skins or dark skins. That is the most detrimental thing to anybody hearing that, especially
1,000,000%.
Yeah, especially if you're a child.
1,000,000%. And you know, it's so fucked up because I remember growing up. I have a white mother. I have a black dad, right? And it's one of those things. There was no race discussed in our house. There was no biases or slanders for any of my parents' friends or my friends. It was just acceptance. It was like my dad was living back in the Caribbean, And he's like, this is what it is. Life is just life. People are people. Like, you have to accept them for who they are or who they're not.
You want to hear a story?
Right? Just give me a second real quick. And it's like, you done?
Nobody can see what I did.
But no.
You could have kept going, and it would have been none the wiser.
I couldn't because people have to realize what's going on. No, it's like it's one of those. It's one of those things where I'm not. I was never accepted by either white people or color people of any shade.
Because your attitude, or just because how you look?
Attitude.
Yeah.
From both, probably. But I mean, we said it before. I look East Indian. I'm Caribbean. Act black. Can talk white if I need to. All of that shit I just said is all racial bias, unconscious racial bias.
Well, explain to me talking white.
Hi, guy. How are you?
Ned Flanders.
Yeah.
So
You know what I mean? Like that's
explain to me acting black.
nigga.
Will
You
Hayes.
see what you're doing there, right?
Yeah, exactly. You see what I said? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's all unconscious because of things not from within my family, within society. So what I'm saying is I'm elaborating on what you said and confirming what you said, right?
No, I 100% agree with you. I just wanted to like let the viewers.
Yeah. So
Listeners.
it's like
Yeah. What did
the
I say?
listeners,
Listen,
you said
viewers.
viewers.
Well,
so
goddamn.
it's like
Camera's not
We
on.
both look at the camera at the same time.
fuck y'all. So what I'm saying is this: it's like and for me, I've always been I felt like a chameleon, right? If I'm in a group of my white friends, I will act accordingly.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm in a group of my Caribbean friends, act accordingly.
Yeah.
You and I have had 30-minute conversation, hour-long conversation where we're just talking pure patois slang.
Yes.
You know, whereas I would never throw that out or throw that slang out in a group of white people
Yeah.
or with Africans that I know.
Yeah.
Right. That was in my younger days.
Mm-hmm.
Now I tend to be who I am for who I am.
Yeah. Your personality has solidified. Let's say. Right. Your persona has solidified.
Not only that, my self-worth and my self-respect, I think,
Right.
and my knowledge of self.
Right. Now, you know what? A question did cross my mind.
Sure. Is it gonna hurt my feelings? I don't
No,
want- I don't want
not
it
at
to hurt
all.
my
Not at
feelings.
all.
My feelings are fragile. They don't grow back.
Well, I know you only have one feeling left, so
Yeah.
I'll try not to hurt that.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, looking at, and I'm gonna bring back up India, Japan, North America,
All right.
Europe, etc. There seems to be maybe a blanket or a common denominator.
Right.
Right, a common denominator.
An
of-
overlying.
Yeah, a common denominator of what is beautiful and what is not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I am curious as to whether that is, and I don't have the answer. Right, I really don't have the answer as far as what it is.
Yes, give me the vodka, Doc.
Right, but I'm really curious as to whether it is cultural, or as you may have said, or as you have hypothesized, Pernell, whether it is something that is genetic, or whether it's a combination of both, or whether it is the dominant culture setting the beauty standard. So let me elaborate on what I'm asking here.
That's something we never touched on. I'm glad you touched that.
Let me elaborate a little
Pause.
bit.
Yeah, that deserves a pause.
Yeah.
I'm glad you touched that pause. Yeah, okay, we're good.
You don't have to retell your
No, I had
fucking pause.
No, I had
man.
to.
We
I had to think.
get
I was
it.
thinking about it.
Pausecast P. We get it.
Calm down. I had to think about it myself.
Right? So
Sorry, Kobo. Go ahead.
yeah, no, because there seems to be this, and again, I have no answer to this, and maybe some of the listeners can give their 2 cents as well. There seems to be this beauty standard that goes towards more of a Caucasian look. Okay? So the reason I'm saying more of a Caucasian look, you look at someone like, let's say, Halle Berry, right? Who, by and large, everyone looks at and goes, this
Fine as
woman is
hell.
beautiful, right? But she does not have classic African
Black
features,
Right.
right? She's a mulatto.
Right, but she has
Right.
white features in a black skin.
Yeah, right? Or you look at someone like, I will say one of my personal favorite females,
No.
Selma Hayek,
Oh, Summer. Yeah.
right? Selma
Really?
Hayek was
Really?
gorgeous.
Who's Summer Hayek again?
Gorgeous back in the day. Zorro.
Blow.
Oh yeah. You said Zorro.
Zorro. Yeah.
I said blow.
Yeah, we're not talking about your past extracurricular activities, okay?
Well,
Parnell?
if Selma Hayek is my past extracurricular activity, I'll take that.
Past what?
Extracurricular.
That was very white of you to say there. Will.
It's mighty
What?
whitey. Yeah.
What?
So-
Anyway,
what?
no, but this is what I'm saying, right? Is that there seems to be, at least with females,
Right.
with women, there seems to be this standard of what is beautiful and what is not, right?
Right.
Even I will bring up someone who is dark skinned, right? The girl that played Black Panther's ex-girlfriend in Black Panther,
Right.
right?
Oh, the what's so and so from Walking Dead.
Yeah. Well, we can.
No.
We can
That's
even go.
not
well, let's-
Michonne.
We can
Not
even.
Michonne.
We
Not
can even.
Michonne, the other girl, the one that was Black Panther's girlfriend.
Oh, which one? Okay, yeah. Well, I only know the three of them. Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking
Right.
about.
But we can
So-
even take that to the other gender, right? If you talk about what.
Okay, we'll get to that in
Okay,
a minute, right?
Well, that's how you stop him from interrupting you? Fuck, I gotta learn that. Keep going.
What? Okay. Yeah.
Nigga.
So even her,
I hate you so much, Will.
like you look at her and she's clearly African, very clearly African, but she has what I would consider at least finer features, not the classic African look.
Not
right?
so.
Not,
Not so.
not a broad nose, not
not-
massive lips, not.
She has that
Cut
more
jaw.
Somali, South African.
I guess
kind
so.
of look.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
South,
right?
or
Like,
Southeastern.
yeah.
Yeah.
She has a
Right.
apartheid rape stuff in her.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not even playing, dog. Don't leave me like that. She has the apartheid.
Ethiopian. I mean, not Somali.
Yeah,
but
East
Ethiopian.
African. I don't
She
think
not
she's.
that
East,
skinny.
I don't think she's East African though, right? Wow.
But
Wow.
Ethiopians do have more of a
Finer features, yeah.
finer features. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
I love the way Ethiopian girls look. I can't.
Oh
fuck-
yeah,
I
me
can't.
too, man. You know.
So to touch
But-
on that, sorry to interrupt, but okay. So what I wanted to know, and I think this will help the listeners too. What in females? What is your preference? There's a deep breath in that.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference? I've seen you with so many different
Wow.
Different looks
styles,
of women, yeah.
styles and looks of women.
This nigga talking about women like they're wallabies. Dog, I saw
Man,
you
you got
with them
them
ice
broccoli
creams,
wallabies
them
in
broccoli
there, yeah.
wallabies, man. I saw you with them ginsengs,
I'm just saying, there's
butter pecan ricans, French vanilla butter pecan chocolate deluxe.
No,
Stop
to
it,
tell you the truth, I have no set type.
right,
Right, as far as-
except
as
for
far
large
as-
breasts.
I do like large breasts. I will definitely say that. But
We've had this discussion.
yeah. Right. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's not my be all and end all. Right. Would I prefer it? Absolutely. But if I meet a girl who is intelligent, smart, has a good sense of humor, you know, is healthy,
Right.
But she got some itty bitties.
and she doesn't have D-cup breasts,
That
but
could be fixed though.
it can be
He doesn't like
augmented.
that. He doesn't like augmented.
I know.
right?
I don't like augmented.
Fucked up, man.
I would rather, you know what? I'd rather natural B's than fake D's.
You know what? This is how I know he's so fucked up. He's wearing North Face parka with a hoodie on, zipped up in a studio that's like 25 degrees. I'm wearing a hoodie, but no fucking parka. Don't look at me like that.
Well, I know
I'm
what y'all are
Caribbean.
wearing.
I was born and raised in the Caribbean. I like it hot.
Something like that.
Right? But no, I have no preference, right? But it's just my observation.
Have fun. Play around with me, nigga. Play with me, nigga. Pause.
Wow.
Yo, have fun with me, dog. Like, joke
Wow.
around with me, man.
The day I don't have my
Be silly. Be
I know,
silly. Be silly.
nothing but the duns. All through the motherfuckers.
Dog.
I'm trying to just get the last part of what he's telling us.
I understand what he's saying already. I'm trying to have fun with you.
I think we need a sound effect that says no homo.
Right?
No homo.
No, we can't
No
use that
homo.
one.
We're not allowed to say no homo. No,
We'll lose
no
30%.
fags, though. That works.
No, we'll lose 30% of our fans.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, you got a lot of gay fans, John. Your
Nice.
accent, for some
Nice,
reason,
hey.
likes
Hey,
you.
hey, whatever, man. As long as they're listening, give me money.
Cash at Parnell.Ramlaw.
Yeah, right.
Is it
But-
available now?
Yeah.
I went and tried to get it like a couple months ago, and it wasn't available in Canada yet.
No, I got it through my cousin. He got it downloaded when I.
Oh, you got a side loaded?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's still connected to all your accounts? And
Yeah, my
everything?
accounts. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Nigga shit, you know.
You know, Hose uses the Cash App now.
Yeah. Instagram host.
No, just ho-hos.
Oh, real ho-hos?
If you a hoe, I don't care if you on Instagram, Twitter, MySpace,
You a hoe.
LinkedIn, you a hoe.
That's why Katie Pope quit. Kobo, please carry this conversation.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I think we just went off on a very interesting tangent there. That I'm not. I will pass you the Smirnoff.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
We're fucked. Just I'm listening. I don't need to be anywhere this for y'all to.
No,
I'm trying to catch knowledge. I'm listening to
I'm
you.
trying to remember where I left off.
Oh, dog, it doesn't even
Light
matter. Pick up
features,
somewhere
light
different.
people skin features on dark people.
Or finer
Finer
features.
on
Finer
dark people.
features.
On
Yeah.
dark women. We're talking about women specifically.
Yeah. So, but there seems to be a common denominator with these women, right? Is that they do not have, shall I say, more African looks or more Asian looks or whatever, right? They seem to have what we would associate with maybe more of a Caucasian look.
The traditional look of beauty. Even if you look back at us straightening our hair,
Exactly.
dyeing our
Exactly.
hair.
Right,
Yeah.
I think-
Yeah.
Look at Joe Jackson literally beat the black off of Michael.
Yes.
Right.
Made him
Yeah.
feel so ugly and beat the shit out of him so much.
Yeah.
He
And you
did
know what?
not wanna
Objectively,
look
No, wait.
objectively, Michael Jackson was not a bad-looking man
No.
Okay, so
You know?
listen. Is that
before all of his surgery.
how many
Right.
generations has it gone through? Do you think?
Has what gone through?
What year did Europeans bring the first black man into
I don't think it started then.
America?
It didn't start then.
It had to have.
No,
because
no,
they-
I don't think so. I think it had to start 2 or 3 generations into that because
Nah, man.
when you're the
As
first
soon
black
as
man
they
brought
had-
over,
as soon as they had the black people over here. So let's say the generation after that then. Because not even the generation, let's say the seeds born after that. Because as soon as you have the black people over here, and let me tell you, black was not ugly when they brought the slaves over.
No.
These slave masters saw these black women with their ample bodies and said, yes, they're tired of these skinny, bony, anorexic, stinking, not washing. And if you, I'm not being rude or anything like that. You look at the history books, they bathed once a month. African people were in the motherfucking Nile. Free as hell, petting alligators.
Yeah.
Brought them over here, saw these black women, and what did they do? They raped them.
Yeah.
Light-skinned kids came out. Now, they're not going to claim these kids as their own, but they're going to get to a healthy age.
they're gonna be house
14.
niggas.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there's resentment because this is a half black, half white child in the house with massa, sleeping maybe in the doghouse or in the whatever, but they're not sleeping in a farm.
The chicken coop.
They're not getting
Yeah.
whipped. Now there's more generations comes. Now some of these kids that are still light are overseers. They may not be they may be perceived as a higher level than some of the slaves, but they have a gun in their hand and they're doing mass orders. They're overseeing the cotton fields.
See-
You gotta think, and it's the whole thing is like, and this is just me just seeing what I saw, reading
Yeah.
what I read and putting out there. I don't have facts to base behind this. I don't have the facts.
Yeah.
You
Well, I
dig what I'm
don't
saying?
think this episode is going to be
Fact
full of
based.
facts. Really.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think. And here's the thing: is that unconscious bias on any account is. It has to be a learned trait.
But
It has to be.
Unconscious shit is not learned. It's
It's learned it's absorbed, learned
yeah.
unconsciously,
So
right?
it's not like you're taught it. Your experience and your
your life.
how do I say? I was not taught to.
It's ingrained.
I was not taught to avoid specific areas and specific parties. It's just after media, friends, experience, I kind of adapted to it. Just like it's like an evolution, but I don't want to call it an evolution because evolution is usually like an evolve into something better. Whereas this is like
a de-evolution.
a de-evolution that because our body, the humans spiritually and mentally will take something and adapt it to us and make it feel like it's in a survival sense. So when we have, like, if you have segregation and stuff like that, you're more comfortable around your own as like a survival sense, and now you're uncomfortable around people that aren't of you, and you think it's a survival nature.
Yeah,
when
we
it's
have
just
we have
something
in
that-
group preference. For
yeah,
sure.
group preferences.
Right.
But our minds and our psyche will adapt us to it because we adapt to what we feel is a survival technique.
No, okay. Here's where I find it gets
I don't know if
interesting.
fight or
Then,
flight-
right? Here's
I
where I
don't think
find
it's
it
fight
gets
or flight,
interesting.
but I don't even know if any of that made sense.
Right?
Just,
Is that
No.
so?
Give me
With
another
the
shot.
yeah, I understand what you're saying with the in-group preference. Right? You're going to want to gravitate towards your own rather than somebody else.
right. And that's
Right?
just like an example
So-
of what that's.
Yeah, and that has been displayed throughout human history, right? What I find interesting now in today's day and age is that we still do have an in-group preference. Okay, there is still that in-group preference, but we see one type of look as the ideal. Right, which I find very strange. Right, because if you look at a cultures as disparate as, let's say, somewhere in the Congo, somewhere in India, and Mexico, right? They all seem to have this standard of beauty that seems to be similar
towards lights. Yes, and
Yeah.
I'm with you 100% on that. I've seen it,
Yeah.
but I don't know what. Like I honestly, Vex, I don't know what to say about that shit.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know what to say.
It's-
I don't know why, because it's areas that aren't even affected like North America was.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah. It's
And
very strange.
It affects me. I've had dark skinned girls and light skinned girls. I used to have ass Wednesdays, titty Tuesdays, stuff on my Instagram when I was single. I used to throw up like things that I considered beauty, and there's girls of all cultures.
Yeah.
But all of them a lot fairer skinned, except for when I went on my Naomi Campbell kick.
Right.
I can't. It's Naomi fucking Campbell.
Well, yeah. No, she's objectively a good-looking woman.
But I've had black girls, like dark skinned black girls, hit me up on my inbox saying, "Oh, I see you got a preference." I'm like, "Yeah, I have a preference."
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't need to follow you then. And then it's a delete and a block. And I'm thinking to myself, did you think that you had a chance, even if, regardless of what you look like?
Yeah.
Did you think that?
Yeah, the attitude alone is probably going to disqualify you from a chance. Yeah.
But I have a preference.
yeah.
I like lighter skinned and I love white girls.
Mm-hmm.
That's my preference is like white girls. I don't hate black women. My mother's a black woman.
Yeah.
My grandmother's a black woman.
Yeah.
My great grandmother's a black woman. I was raised, my aunts. I was raised by the strongest black women I know.
Mm-hmm.
But I like white women as far as sexually.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I've dated black women.
Yeah.
And it's not been, and I haven't had any discourse or displeasure or distaste towards them.
I'm not fond of how colored women.
Are we still saying colored?
Yeah, I'm saying colored for all colors, not black, like black, brown, yellow, all the colors.
You're saying it in the South African Zimbabwe terminology.
Yeah. All colored women.
With a U or just LOLR? It sucks, don't it? I'm just fucking with them all day today.
The British
I
spelling or the
cannot
North
get
American
over
spelling?
your last comment, dog. Like, really, that's going to be... This is not I want all the smoke. We don't want that smoke. Like, this is us talking about why we like big titties and white girls.
But to be fair, at least with me, I don't.
You don't care.
I really don't care about skin color that way.
That's because
honestly,
girls
right?
throw the fucking pussy at him. He bats
It's
it
true.
away. Like,
That's why he keeps getting
Not
pussy.
true.
It's
Not
like
true.
fucking
What I'm
Ken
trying to say
Griffey.
is my preference is I don't like there's an attitude or a I don't want to say attitude because that's the wrong word. There's a
Mindset.
Yeah, that colored women, especially in the Calgary region, Canada, that they say their worth is, or they try to drag down a man because they think they're better than, or
Well, they have the attitude. They copy the attitude.
Yeah. That's
I'm stush.
I'm trying to be as politically correct as possible. I don't really. I'm trying.
That's definitely Toronto black girls. Toronto black girls are stush as fuck.
Yeah, they think-
Well, they were in the 90s and 2000s.
They think they're better than, or higher up than even their mother or their father. Or
You're
something.
talking attitude wise.
I'm talking
right? Yeah.
attitude and just like how they portray themselves in public, and there's the real loud, abrasive,
Obnoxious.
not
yeah.
holding themselves to a higher standard.
Yeah, well, I think you know what, that's another. It's
that come
something
off
that I've
right?
noticed.
Crass.
Yeah,
Crass.
yeah. I've noticed that in Calgary, right? But the funny thing is, I've noticed foreign colored women, right? Women who are not born and raised in Calgary who are
Tame.
colored,
Damn.
right?
So you mean foreign as far as outside the city or outside the country?
Outside the city,
Yeah.
but mostly outside the
We
country.
talking
Yeah.
Japanese?
Right.
Are we talking Caribbean?
I'm talking anything, right?
Okay.
Caribbean, Asian, African, whatever, right? They come here and their attitudes are different,
Yeah.
right? It's the girls that, and this is again my experience, so forgive me if anyone feels slighted in any way. My experience has been girls who are born and raised in Calgary, right? Girls of, even if their parents are Caribbean or African or whatever, seem to adopt this attitude of what they see happening in North America as far as
values,
black,
the Caribbean values
right?
out there,
So
whatever.
So like you were saying, loud, obnoxious, trying to put people down, drag them down, whatever. Maybe that's an unconscious bias that I'm seeing, right? But I mean, I've had the experience where I've talked to black girls from Calgary, right? And you kick some game to them and whatever, and you get you're too light-skinned for me. What does that mean? What do you mean I'm too light-skinned for you? Right?
Oh, we want to carry on our black heritage, our black culture.
I want to be black and strong. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything to me, right? Coming from an extremely mixed race background.
Carrying on the black.
If a girl says to you, like when John's trying to pick up a girl and she's like, "No, you're not dark skinned enough for me." That's the reverse type shit.
Well, you're not dark skinned enough for me. I can see how that would make sense. I can see how that mind state would instill in someone raised in the States. I can't see that in Canada.
I've had that in Calgary.
Maybe Toronto area, right? Maybe more towards the east in Toronto area and part of the places, and maybe Nova Scotia.
And that's part of the problem?
I think any type of racial segregation is part of the problem. I believe that even
though my preference, do you see why you have this one black man on our fucking podcast?
I see,
he understands.
Yeah, because my preference is lighter skinned women and white women, but I have never turned down a date or an encounter or getting to know somebody because of their race.
Skin color.
I've never said I've dated the blackest, beautiful, most chocolate people. I love Native girls too. Let me just put that out there. I love Native girls. My girl's Native. I love Native women. I love women of culture, and I love Native people.
And here's the thing for me. I think it has to be.
I don't think they get enough shine.
There has
I just
to
want
be.
to put shine out there for the Native people.
I'm not trying to.
Big up the Cree Nation.
Yes.
I don't want to disparage anybody, but I think what Kobe was trying to get is that girls that are born here, there's this. I'm going to say this really awkwardly. There is a white Canadian culture within women that, and even guys, really, that there's the culture behind white people is there is no culture. And by that I mean there's no culture, as in there's no ethnic food that you have, there's no ethnic values you have, there's no ethnic.
I think
there's no ethnic pride you have.
Yeah, that's the perception that a lot of. This is what I've noticed. That's the perception a lot of white Canadians have. Right? Now, to be fair, when I lived in Trinidad, I didn't think Trinidad had any distinct culture.
Right.
I only noticed Trinidadian culture when I moved here. Right? And you start seeing things and missing things that you had before.
Yeah, real recognize real, and you looking familiar.
When you're in China, you don't eat Chinese food.
You eat food.
You eat food, exactly. Right? So you don't think relatively that you have a culture.
But think about it this way. Like, I understand that. Now, let me give you another thing. What's your like, let's say a traditional meal. It sounds cliche, but what's your traditional meal at your house? What's your traditional meal at your house?
Traditional meal at my house? Yeah, you'll have roti and curry or kalaloo or something, like.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing.
Same with Guyana is very,
have a
very
curry
similar.
goat, or, we'll have a dal puri,
a real fucking
a real roti. Yeah, dal puri.
Yeah, I know dal puri. I live in the Northeast.
I'm just costing him real quick.
And
I can see the smile on his face.
The East Indians are like, "Yo, you want to come eat?" I love that shit.
Yeah, have a curry. Have a curry goat or a pepper.
I know I just met you today, but
pepper pot. A pepper pot or something like that. Yeah, a pepper pot is very traditional for Christmas. And
you know what mine is?
What?
I don't have one.
I know, because you don't know where your heritage is, though.
I don't. But my heritage 50 million times removed. But the thing is,
50 million though.
That's.
So your mom never made any soul food or anything for you?
Well, my mom
serious.
That was such a racial bias.
My mom makes the illest cornbread. But then again, my mom's spaghetti and shepherd's pie is off the chain.
Right.
If I wanted to connect to any of my traditions that I'm most relatable and familiar with, it would be my Hungarian side.
Really, yeah?
1,000,000% me too.
It would be my Hungarian side because that's
not even joking.
I'm black by birth, but I'm Hungarian by culture. You dig what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing.
One of your grandparents is Hungarian.
My
right?
mom's dad is Hungarian.
In Holland, there's more. There's lots and lots of black people. Holland is got.
He's not black.
No, what?
My mom's dad is white.
No, what I'm saying is that
he escaped the war.
What I'm saying is that in predominantly in white, what we think as white societies, is there's more prominently black people or colored people than there is white people. I firmly believe that there's more colored people in Europe than there is white people.
No. But
and here's why.
There's more colored people that were brought there.
Maybe
and migrated.
Yeah, maybe migrants that are there now. But when I was in like the UK, when I was in Holland, when I was in Amsterdam, when I was, there, it was almost like a 50-50 mix. if not very, very close.
Wow.
But were they tourists or just people?
No, not tourists. People that live there, and that's what I'm saying. It's like,
But my
and
point,
that's the thing is like, why are we putting all this negative energy or negative connotations on people from these places, like I just did for white people in Canada?
experience.
Right. But
It's not based off any
we're coming
values,
to a
experience.
point where it's coming to a point where everybody's going to be mine or Kobo's complexion in 50 years.
The
All three of us,
A
yeah.
whole
All three
bunch
of
of,
us.
a whole
Three of us
bunch of
are gonna
khaki
be-
niggas running around.
Yeah.
Right?
Because black people can't stop fucking. But my whole point is,
Same with Chinese people.
my point, and Chinese people can't stop fucking black people.
This
Well,
is
they
true.
think find their dick.
This is very true. No. Then
Japanese guys? Asians? Nigga, catch the joke. Carry on.
No, but there
Stop referencing homosexual activities and other people's penises for one podcast, please. Podcast P.
I'm sorry you like to play the fucking pause game when you're fucking 30 plus years old, almost goddamn 40 years old. I don't play that fucking game on a serious podcast, nigga. Stop it.
If you ever ask me to play with you again, I will go and buy a fucking Super Nintendo.
Nigga. Have fun with me, dog. Play with me.
Tape up every button except for the pause button. And give it to
Take 'em
your
off.
ass.
Just take them off and shit.
The only button left is the
My
pause
nigga.
button.
And
I
that's
will
why we
buy-
do the podcast, so I get free shit gifts.
I will buy a fucking VHS, give you the pause button and the tracking button.
shut
but
up.
my whole point of saying that was, I'm black. I relate to black, and a lot
You're
of
not black,
A
you're
lot of
beige.
the black people that beige, whatever. But a lot of the black people I relate to is because of things that were told to me out of experience from either my father or
Should
my
we bring in an
grandparents.
actual African?
No.
Yeah.
And then really don't want to go through that right now. I'm in a good mood. And then
Wow.
because I have so if you look
No,
at my
you
family,
don't just
my
fly
dad,
through that.
my dad.
Stop.
Lord have mercy. Go through.
We're never getting sponsored.
My family.
We're gonna get sponsored by the KKK.
Well, sponsorship's a sponsorship, I guess.
Let me tell you some of the history of my family, and this is why I can relate to the black side. First of all, when my grandfather came in, I never got to meet him, but I got to meet his best friend, who married my grandmother after my grandfather died, and my grandfather's wish was for him to take care of my grandmother and my mom.
Wow.
So, and he was Hungarian as well. Grandpa Gabe, I love him to death. So there's that. And he was one of the first people to fight the racism on Chicken on the Way downtown in Kensington that had the black man with the big lips holding the fucking thing up, running like a waiter. And he fought the shit out of that. A white Hungarian who could barely speak English at the time fought the shit out of it. Let me tell you about my black family. My black family is
Wait, how is that racist?
because it was the cartoon was the mascot was a racial undertone of Sambo.
Oh, some blackface business going
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
So look it up right now.
No, I'm just wondering. I'm not.
Okay. And they took it like after they fought that shit, they took the fucking big thing off the side of the Chicken on the Way and everything like that. Let me tell you about my black family. Black family is one of the first three families to settle Alberta. They call them the Black Cowboys. There's a museum for the Black Cowboys, I think just a little south or north of Athabasca, that has a bunch of my family and the other families in there. There's statues of my family out there as well. We were the
What?
Black Cowboys. I think there's a legend about my family and another black family that went in with the Big Four. And if anybody who knows who the Big Four is, they're the people who started the Calgary Stampede.
Right.
But the Big Four did have black families involved in that and pushed the black families out. Huge. A lot of different things. There's documentaries and books written about my family. Now, that's just the family that migrated to Alberta.
Or the family you know.
No, even the family I don't know. This is the Alberta family. Now you got to think about the Hazes, some of the Hazes that
And this,
stayed in the States.
that first side was your mom's side.
And dad's.
Yeah.
The thing is, my mom's family and my dad's family have known each other for generations. My dad and my mom's brother were best friends, and their family before them. So it's like my family's always known each other.
Right.
Like I was destined.
Yeah.
I'm the only kid from those two.
Yeah.
From my mom and my dad. They said this is perfection, and they left went their separate ways.
Behave.
So,
we
but
can't top this.
we cannot top this. We're gonna have a divorce and fight for the next 26 years. So, I love you both. A bottle of Hennessy in the sycamore tree will give you some greatness.
Aye.
But then I got family from my mom's side, Mississippi. Family from my dad's side from Kansas City Kansas State, and Kansas. And then by way of Kansas City, I've had family all over the states. And now my family, the Capletons, shout out to the Capletons, Ferguson, St. Louis, a bunch of places in Missouri and all over. And I was gonna go visit, and then Ajina, my cousin, she's like, things are really getting tense here. Cancel your trip. I'm like, no, I want to come down and visit y'all. She's like, no, things are really getting intense here. Cancel your trip. This was just before, I can't remember what happened, but just before they had the riots and stuff down there. I think there was a killing down there. They saw the racial tensions between the police and everything down there. So I can relate to some of black culture. Yeah. But it's by way of stories and other people's experiences.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, you didn't experience it, so it's not valid. I think it's very valid if you can take someone else's experience and learn from it. Yeah. Right? And I suppose glean what your culture is from that as well. Yeah. Right? So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So, and no, 100%. Like, exactly. And that's, I mean, being a black man comes with a lot of responsibilities before you even know you have those responsibilities. Yeah. You have to, and a lot of these responsibilities are from subconscious cultural bias. Yeah. You have the responsibility to talk proper when you're around certain people. You have the responsibility to carry yourself a certain type of way. You have the responsibility to dress a certain type of way. Yeah. They tell you don't name your kids certain types of names, whereas like these aren't ghetto names. These are names that we named our kids to have our own individuality. No one's gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna marry Ivan because it's a fucking Russian name. No, that's a name that you have. I don't know where the name Ivan came from, whether it was tradition or if it got inserted into tradition. Yeah. But I mean, Malik is not traditionally African name, but that's it got inserted into the lexicon. Yeah.
Good word.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, at the end of the end, but it's like you have stories saying they're not going to hire these people because their names are too black. Oh, we're not going to, this person's native, so all of a sudden we think that we don't want him working in a liquor store. He's just going to be a drunk. This is an Asian. We don't want him teaching driving classes. Like, there's so many
No, for real, you shouldn't have Asians teach driving classes.
You shouldn't, you know what though? I used to think that until I moved to the deep Northeast. You shouldn't have anybody in Northeast Calgary teaching driving to anybody in Northeast Calgary. Nobody in Northeast Calgary to drive. White, black, Asian, Blasian,
Pakistani, Indian.
Yeah, I can't determine Pakistani from Indian.
Okay.
They actually
say brown.
You know what? There used to be no difference between the two historically.
Pakistan and
Pakistan broke away from India.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So
I just say brown.
Yeah.
This is like
we say unruly coolie
that's
here.
why. Yeah, that's why I say Asian, because if I say Chinese and he's like I'm Korean, I'm like my bad. I don't have enough experience.
I say Asian.
Yeah, I say Asian because I don't have enough experience with these regions to tell them apart.
I can tell
it's not racist. It's
between Japanese, Chinese, and Filipino. Thai and all that other shit is a little awkward for me, but
I can tell the difference between
Chinese,
Filipino from anybody. Filipino and
Filipinos are the black
who's
people.
The black
sorry, Filipinos.
Who's the black Asians? The Cambodians. I can tell Cambodians and Filipino. I can tell.
Oh yes. Shadow Sabath and Sabo.
Yeah, Sabath and Sabo. Savan.
Mm-hmm. They're twins. I went to junior high with those boys.
Yeah.
Don't you know them?
Yeah,
nigga.
I'm Will Hayes.
Fuck off with your
Savan and Simoon as well. But I mean the subconscious cultural bias at the end of the day will never stop because.
Well, I think as long as we have different cultures and different races, there will always be that subconscious bias,
and it's been happening for so long,
right? And I always have to laugh a little bit, chuckle to myself a little bit when I hear someone go, I don't see race. No, you do see race.
You have
right? To. It's blatant, right? But
I'm like, fuck y'all niggas.
Yeah, no. You may not recognize and judge or act upon it.
Exactly. That's what it's about, right? You don't judge based on race, but you see race.
Of course. Right? But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to pick if you lost your friend and you need to describe him,
yeah, he's just a guy.
He's the guy wearing a gray shirt
and brown hair and brown eyes and
dreads.
A black
Is he black?
shirt.
Oh, I don't see race.
Bitch,
what she look like?
Yeah.
But think about it this way: the world today. Word. The mics are on. My mouth was open. Nasty motherfucker. Yo, so the world today spins and rotates differently than it did in 1718, right?
Yeah.
And it's irreversible. We're not going to make it spin the same way.
No.
Because of whatever climate and gravity and everything like that throughout I don't know the whole thing. You know, this smart motherfucker knows why. I'm just gonna say climate and gravity
Yes.
has changed it over so much periods of time.
Hold on, what?
Climate and gravity, nigga. So in small increments.
Wait. One more time?
You know what I'm saying? Different gravity and climate, nigga.
Thank you.
So, it's small, minuscule, unnoticeable until you get down the right.
Yes.
And I think,
When you look at how far you've come from where you started.
exactly, and
Yeah.
I think it's the same with cultural bias. Right now, but now we can actually see it because we can see what's being forced onto us. So that's like a So like
Yeah.
right now, it's like, oh, if you see a big a white girl with black features from the neck down. And maybe the lips. That's what's the most attractive thing.
White
now.
girl with big lips? Oh,
a white girl with big, a white girl with big lips, big titties,
Yeah.
wide hips, and a fat ass.
Come get me. My girl's
Yeah.
exactly like that right now.
Okay, but cool. But my thing, and you find that attractive, right?
I love it.
Okay, that is a subconscious bias. That was not the norm.
Unconscious?
Subconscious. Okay. It's not unconscious. We're awake.
I think it's the same thing. But anyway.
No, it is. No, I'm just joking. Whatever. He just wants to fucking interrupt me. Okay, I'll give you something. You can have a W on. Conversate.
Okay, go ahead.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. You feel good?
No,
Is that
really.
wind just
No, because you just fucking said conversate. Of course
Yeah.
I'm fucking good, nigga.
conversate? Yeah.
I fucking hate you so much.
Do you feel like He-Man when he held aloft the magic sword?
I wanna slice your throat open.
Do you have the power?
I got the power!
No, I'm thinking He-Man. What the fuck was that? That hurt.
That was Snap.
The snap, dog.
Yeah, getting kind of
Get
hectic.
up on your fucking
It's
history.
getting? It's getting kind of hectic. So we all have subconscious or unconscious.
Now I know I keep on the podcast.
Subconscious, unconscious bias.
Yes.
And sometimes it just pushes us to personal preferences. So we gotta. I want to at least throw in this podcast that sometimes subconscious, unconscious bias is not a negative thing. But we all have, for what we do in everyday life, who we choose to be with, who we choose to gravitate towards, and everything like that. A lot of it has to do with what is force fed through our
Absolutely.
sub/unconscious.
But yeah, I
Absolutely.
think
I'm
the media has definitely done a number on us. But I do have to disagree with you on one thing, Will. As far as the female archetype,
Right.
right? A woman with large breasts, wide hips, and an ample derriere.
That's more like
Right.
genetic. What we're looking
That is
for.
that is
genetically.
genetic what we're looking for.
No,
right?
it's not.
Absolutely.
Well, okay, it's genetic.
Absolutely.
It's genetic.
We want a
looking
woman
for.
that bears the most children.
Yeah,
why
but it's-
we're childbearing
It's
hips.
genetic what we're looking for, but the
Careful.
wide hips on a white woman, in a majority of circumstances, don't come until they're ready to give birth to a child.
Not necessarily.
Where I know
Not
that's
necessarily.
why not necessarily. That's why I said in most cases.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
in
this is what
all,
I'm saying.
but
Actually, that is not quite true.
Okay, show me a white girl
Right.
that looks like Kim Kardashian naturally,
All we have
Show
to
me
do
a
is
black girl that looks like Kim Kardashian naturally.
and I will take you to any place in Africa or Toronto. Black girls are with the wide hips, the big ass, the narrow waist, and the fat titties. They are genetically modifying
No.
their bodies to look like the black look, to attract the people to them.
Maybe
I
listen.
understand-
Wait.
no, listen, I'm not done.
Wait.
No, wait
maybe
till I'm
one or
done.
maybe one or two
No.
things they are
No,
adjusting
it's
to
not-
make it look.
Are they adjusting one or two things? Their titties.
is it genetic?
I don't think.
It's not
I don't
genetic.
think every black girl has big titties and fucking
Not
wide
every,
hips.
okay, I understand you don't think every black girl has big titties and wide hips. This is why I didn't say all black girls have big titties
Okay,
and wide
either
hips.
way, I don't think-
So
I don't
when
think- I
I'm
don't think- I don't
speaking
think-
on something,
I don't
I'm
think-
speaking in generalizations.
Okay, so I don't
do
think-
not generalizations.
What I'm saying is that I don't think most colored women or black women like
Kim
you wanna describe-
Kardashian.
That had fuck.
and
How many
all these-
surgeries have she had?
That
Get
is-
that.
Okay, so you're gonna
3.
argue my point to me?
I
No,
don't know.
what I'm saying is that black women in general will have one or two.
No.
Well, they won't have everything all the time. And I know you understand. I know that's what you're saying.
Okay, but
I know
who's
that's what
saying
you're
everything all the time?
No, I understand that's what you're saying.
So why would you argue something that I'm not saying?
Can you shut the fuck up? Let me talk.
No, because I wasn't done.
All right, go ahead.
Fuck you mean? Shit.
You're saying things that are contentious, and I have a right to sit here and talk about it.
You do.
All right.
But if you interrupt me, you're not going to be able to finish your right.
Okay, you
Black
finish so I can
women,
counter this.
Black women generally are larger in proportion in specific areas. Am I
False.
wrong?
False.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have to agree with you on one area.
They have black
Bigger
women
butts.
have bigger behinds
asses.
and hips.
Not in all areas. Asses,
Black
yes.
women have bigger asses and
Yes,
hips.
true.
Okay. Compared to white women,
Why just white?
because I'm talking about black and white right now. That's why.
Ebony and ivory.
Compared to white women,
Yeah.
in most cases, generally speaking, not everyone, black women may be more top heavy than white women.
That I disagree with.
Disagree.
Okay.
Heavy.
Okay, you disagree with that heavy. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I've seen
What-
larger breasts in general on white women
Black
than on
women,
black women.
Yeah.
wait, black women, all the fucking time.
Oh wait, no, you know what? I
Black
think he might be
women-
right. You know, and here's why.
Because they used to take fucking black women from Africa and put them on fucking display because of those features.
Well, no, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say because if you look at, and this may sound really disparaging, if you look at National Geographic,
Oh, for fuck's sake. So, they used to actually be, even like leading into slavery, they used to steal black women from the areas where they had the larger breasted and larger ass black women.
was
and
it
put
was it
them
large?
on
Was it
display.
larger breasts in general, or just because they didn't have
Larger
anything to
breasted
support
and
them?
large? No, it was larger breasted and larger ass black women, and put them on display to show something different. And they used to have, it was like turning a girl out across her will, and they would have rape parties for them to fuck large breasted and large ass women. Trust me. Now,
sounds fun.
to keep going on to my point,
Yeah.
all black women are born with fuller lips than white women.
Yes.
Now, today's day and age of beauty, talking Instagram models, I'm talking these fucking wisdom tooth fucking built strippers. Okay.
All right.
Are going now. I'm talking some white, now black, Asian, and mixes all in between. Are going to the doctor to get features to augment their bodies to reflect how African American women look, right or wrong.
I disagree.
I disagree.
They're getting ass implants to look how.
Well, yeah, no, definitely some are getting ass implants, but I don't
No,
think
I'm
you know-
not talking about some. Let's get this 100% clear. When I'm talking about the people that are doing it, I'm talking about the people that are doing it. So if I say these people that are if I'm talking about the Kim Kardashians, if I'm talking about the Black Chinas, if I'm talking about the Kylie Jenners, if I'm talking about the Amber Roses, and if I'm talking about these people, don't say some, because I'm talking about these people. I'm talking about
Those people that have-
today.
that have got
What is
augmented-
I'm talking about when you looked at King Magazine. When King Magazine and you turn to that back page when that was popping, 15 to 20% were white. And maybe even half of that were white and natural. Now you give me a white, natural, full-figured woman, I'm all about that. All about that. But today's standards of beauty, where you're getting lip injections. Let's take out the breast implants, because that seems to be what you guys are hung on. So let's take out the breast implants.
Damn right, I'm hung on it.
Let's talk about the lip injections and the ass implants. They want to have more African American looking features without the extra African American shit.
Can't we just say they want fuller features?
No,
instead
we
of
cannot.
African American, because there's
No.
been more. No, I understand. I understand.
This
what you're
is
saying.
something that you
I
can
understand what
actually
you're
look
saying.
into and
I-
see.
I
This is
understand
not
what
even
you're
like
saying.
me just making shit up.
No,
This-
listen. I understand
this
what
is
you're
some-
saying.
This is the one thing
Stop
I'm saying that
arguing
has
with me.
facts
I'm trying
behind
to
it.
fucking agree with you for 2
That has
seconds. Give me a fucking
facts,
second.
But you asked me a question, I answered that shit.
Right, and you went
No.
on for a fucking half an hour.
It's what I do. That's why you
All
put
right.
me on here. It's a podcast, not TV.
Please, Massa, may I speak?
Huh?
Please, Massa, may I speak?
You ain't talking to me. He's the lightest one in the room. Shit. I'm out here.
Damn,
I'm out here.
What I'm
picking-
saying,
with the biggest lips too.
fuck off.
I didn't notice those. Oh, really? You're upset? You think someone else has bigger lips? Podcast? You think someone has bigger lips than Vex? Kobo? Now he's pursing his lips in.
that's-
Now this nigga hiding his lips. This nigga think he got better lips than you. Yo,
This is why I have to get them sugar, man.
lip challenge. Both of y'all get a bottle. No, okay, go.
I think we have devolved.
Yo, but for real, where you going? Where you going, Army fatigues? No, I'm really heated about this situation because I see it all the time.
No,
and
first of all, can I come in back? Let me come back in here.
But let me tell you my point.
You just told me your point for half a fucking
No,
hour.
that's not my point. That's what I was saying. That's my example. My point is that cultural bias is now not only telling us that these exaggerated features are beautiful, but it's telling Caucasian girls.
That's subjective. Beautiful is subjective. It always has been, regardless of what you think
Beauty's subjective, but because of social media, because
I think it's subjective to a point.
Yeah, because of all the media we have forced down our throats now, and because you have people killing themselves because they don't look like what's on in the magazines and beauty is subjective, and it's also forced upon us.
Okay.
Because we see it all the time. Maybe you don't because you don't have the phone up. I have my phone on me all the time. I sometimes need to remind myself what I think is beautiful. Sometimes I need to remind myself what my body image should be because I'm on the phone and on the television and on the shit so much. 110%. Dude, we grew up with He-Man dolls. You don't think that had something on a little boy's head, like what they should look like?
A million percent. And here's the thing.
So, but
my
just to finish off, not only is it saying that the exaggerated things are what's beauty, it's also telling Caucasian girls and girls that aren't full figured that they're not beautiful.
I don't agree with that. Here's why. Even though the features may be emphasized, let's say, it's still not telling white girls to darken their skin. And let me tell you what I'm saying here.
You're talking about skin bleaching, yeah?
Right. So my issue is this: how is it that how you can say white people or all these other cultures are getting the plastic surgeries to get the bigger asses and bigger tits, like we know they are, right? Whereas the features that are considered hypotheses classical, classically beautiful, are of the European descent.
Because the classical features of beauty of European descent. So when you have a European changing
European?
Yeah, that's what I said. You know who I'm talking about, right?
So you have
every time I go to hit him with knowledge, he tries to fuck me up on that.
It's not,
Every time I drop a gem on this motherfucker, he wants to hit me with what I'm saying. Listen, if you have if you have European features that are considered beauty.
I'm talking facial. I'm talking like facial features: nose structure, lips, mouth, eyes.
Okay,
I'm talking facial, right?
Okay.
And you're talking body. So I know it's a little.
Well, ask
me
your question again.
What I'm saying is that if you have classically beautiful features from the European side of
like
genetics,
Marilyn Monroe kind of thing,
right? Like the white. I'm gonna say white. Just lay it out there. White people, classical beauty features, and then your white women are now getting surgeries to match the body that that men consider beautiful, the bigger hips and bigger chest.
Right.
Do you think that in 50 or 100 years where everybody's combined and we have the same skin tone, that we're going to have the most beautiful women without the augmentation? And
No.
do you think it's possible that either culture, black, white, Indian, Haitian, whatever the fuck you want to say, can love themselves for who they are without this bias?
Never. People are gonna love.
What's made popular in media?
People are gonna love who sell products. People are gonna want to look like.
yeah,
What the
they're gonna
products
look
are being
like
sold
they're gonna want to emulate what's popular at the time.
And that's the
Right.
problem.
But you see, this is my whole point.
Being
this
black
is why
without being black is always going to be what the fucking norm is and what's going to be forced down people's fucking throat.
I disagree.
doubt-
Historically,
Dead ass.
that's
You
that's
look
never
at-
it's never been
What
the
did I
case
just
historically.
fucking show you? What did I just fucking show you?
body type of a black person, maybe.
Yeah, the body type of a black person, maybe. You know why?
The mindset, no. The way that they're treated, no.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So being black without being black, my nigga. Being black by fucking body without actually having to be black.
well, there you
Because
go.
everybody wants to be a nigga till some nigga shit happens.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm
Everybody
saying.
wants to be a nigga
You missed the
until it's time to be a nigga.
You missed a
That's
very-
why
you missed
niggas
a-
are bleaching they fucking skin.
You missed a very, very important word there.
What?
You didn't say body the first time. Now you did the second
I
time.
was. What do
I
you, why do
appreciate
I have to
that.
say body if I'm only talking about the body?
You said being black without being black. You didn't say having a being black body without being black. There's a difference in that statement, dog.
Dog. Throw the body shit out the way. How many comedians that are whites that are adopting black comedy?
Because the culture is there, and that's what they're doing now. Because everybody wants to be fucking appropriate this fucking culture.
Because they want to be black.
I'm not arguing with you.
Black.
They want the fucking body. They want the culture.
Let me tell you
about also want the whole fucking white side.
Let me tell you about self-hate. Let me tell you about self-hate. While the rest of this fucking world is trying to look like you're bleaching your fucking skin. When the rest of this fucking world is trying to go to the countries that you're in, you're marching out that shit because the dictator is chopping off your fucking kids' hands. When the rest of the fucking world wants to rap and spit and dress and talk like you're trying to do the exact opposite so you can keep a fucking job. Being black is not fucking cool. Acting black is fucking cool. Give me the motherfucking mic so I could drop that shit, nigga. We ain't talking about no fucking... This is cultural appropriation. That's the whole reason why we have this whole thing that we're talking about is cultural appropriation. Anytime a culture is appropriated by another culture, but their main focus of that culture is kept... Dog, we don't... What economy do we have? What economy do we have? Jewish people have an economy. Chinese people have an economy within the countries that they're in.
Completely different topic.
Same thing.
Stay on topic.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. Stay on fucking topic.
How is it not the same thing? Would you rather go to Walmart or would you rather go to motherfucking Leroy who's selling the same shit?
There is no fucking Leroy, nigga.
That's my point, because Leroy's going to Walmart. Nobody wants to buy shit from niggas. And niggas don't want to buy yo shit. The people that listen to our podcast, what are they?
So what are you fucking saying here? You're saying people want to be black without fucking having a black attitude. You are literally taking this whole conversation and narrowing it down to North America.
Because that's where the fuck I am.
Right. We're talking a global fucking podcast and a global situation.
I'm talking about, I cannot talk on situations I haven't yet to experience.
We've been doing it for 6 fucking months, nigga.
If we're to have a specific topic of something that's happening in another country, and I could look into it and research it, I will have an opinion on what I saw.
Right, and you're also talking about Instagram, where girls all across the world on fucking Instagram are getting fucking these surgeries.
Start, I'm not talking
about
the world.
Fuck where it started. You're talking about where it is now.
And it's now I'm talking about North America. I'm not following bitches from all across the fucking world. Right. You know what I'm saying? My dead ass, dog. If you want to talk about cultural bias, niggas won't buy niggas shit. Because they fucking black.
Bullshit.
Culture, and that goes back to my whole... It's not bullshit.
That is bullshit.
Okay. If it's bullshit, right?
Just because black people haven't established enough to have the lower prices like a Walmart has, that's why people don't go there. It's a fucking economy. It's not a goddamn person. So it's not a culture, nigga.
Why do Asians still go to TNT supermarket?
Because the price, that's what they can get their stuff. You can't get that stuff in a white supermarket or in a black supermarket.
Yeah, you can.
Have you gone to TNT?
Yeah, and
have you gone to Co-op?
Superstore.
Have you been able to get a fucking...
the only white one?
No.
So let's talk about Superstore.
All right.
Say Superstore.
So Superstore.
Yeah.
Have you been able to go and get a fresh made a pow bun?
I don't know because I haven't looked to buy it, so I don't know.
Have you been able to go in there and get fresh dumplings?
At Superstore, yeah.
Have you been able to go in there and choose from 5,000 different fucking Ichibans?
No.
No. That's what I'm saying. People that go to these stores because they want to be in the culture that they know.
I shop at black places because I like Caribbean food.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. I do too, and that's what I'm saying. You're wrong. You cannot see black people don't want to shop at black people places when there's 2 of us and 3 of us in the room that fucking do it.
Okay, yeah, there's 3 of us in the room that fucking do it. The whole reason why we have a fucking podcast is for us to teach the people that are listening, because I don't even know what the fucking percentage is, but it's high. Are not doing what we're doing.
Right. What I'm saying is you're screaming at me.
If we had a podcast that was doing everything that was doing, I'm telling you, and you need that's the whole thing. You don't listen. You don't listen.
I do listen.
I prefaced the whole speech that I put out with the worst part of subconscious, unconscious racial bias is self-hate. Mm-hmm. And then I just went on a rant about self-hate and the reason why there's self-hate. So you can't even contradict. You can't even come against that shit because that's my whole fucking point. I was proving my fucking point.
I'm not contradicting you. What I'm saying to you is that to label a whole culture or society like you just did is unfair.
I didn't label the whole country. That's why I know that you don't listen, because I keep saying generally. I keep saying a majority. I keep saying
that's the
most.
problem. That's the problem with your argument. You can't lump everybody into one thing.
I'm not lumping everybody. When you say generally, that's generally speaking.
Yeah.
When you say a
And
majority, it's a majority.
Generally, a majority is the same thing, Doug.
Okay, and that's why I said it. Majority doesn't mean all.
So you
there's
think
definitely a
No, I
lot of
understand what you're
people
saying.
that do not fall under the curtain that I did. But
So let
there's
me
a
ask you-
large
let me ask you a
amount of
question.
people that are falling under that curtain that need to understand that
I
you don't need to be under that fucking curtain.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Let me ask you a question. You believe that a majority of black people in our city, let's just say Calgary, you believe that the majority of black people in our city won't shop at black places because they.
I believe
Help me here.
there is a huge shortage in the black economy in our city because of the way that black people feel to deal with each other.
Okay.
150%.
All right, and I want to counter that by saying the population here is different between blacks, whites, Caribbeans, Asians, whatever you want to do.
Most
it, right?
definitely.
There's not,
That's what makes it more prevalent.
There's not the culture here or the number of black people here to support a viable business.
I'm
I don't know. I
there
disagree.
is.
I
There
disagree.
is. There
I
most
disagree.
definitely
I
is.
actually disagree with both of you.
Well, fuck you, Kobo.
Right?
Leave again.
There is, though.
Sorry, I had to step out and make a phone call. Anyway, I will bring up one name.
You left us here to argue.
I know. Thank you.
Fuck.
One name. A guy who's iconic in Calgary. And he's been around in Calgary for
We can talk
since
about
I've
Lloyd.
been here.
Lloyd or Stutch?
Stutch.
Yeah.
Stutch and Lloyd.
Yeah.
Stutch and Lloyd are actually very, very. In fact,
close.
big up Stutch and big up Lloyd's patties.
Yeah.
You know. So Stutch is a living example in my mind of a quote unquote black business that is supported very well by the
By
black
black
community.
people. Yeah, and
right?
very successful.
And very successful. Same with Lloyd's
Yeah,
patties.
but
right?
that
Lloyd started
came
out.
with struggle.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so.
And that came with trying to change people's mindset into why to buy, which goes to
No,
your point.
no, I
I'm
disagree.
not disagreeing with you.
I disagree with that, right? Because from the time I came here, the whole Caribbean community not only knew of Stutch but supported Stutch.
But Stutch had to be prevalent as hell in this community.
Of course, yeah, but
it's
that's
not like he was like you. Like at the end of the day, I know that we don't have the numbers to have the same as what the Asian or the Jewish or the East Indian community have here.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, Stutch, and he's Stutch still now. How old is Stutch now? 60?
I have no idea, but
Stutch
but
old.
he looks young.
And yeah, black don't crack. But he still had to, and there's another subconscious racial thing. But because I know some creepy old black people. But his hustle and grind.
He's met my dad, but anyway.
His hustle and grind is not that of someone who set up a shop black people want to support because it's a black business. People are supporting Stutch because it's Stutch and it's good.
Not only
But
that,
no.
the
But
product
the thing is
fantastic.
the thing is this though.
And remember,
Stutch-
he's had 3 failed businesses in
Yeah.
that same mall.
But here's the thing: Stutch sells mainly black products,
Yeah.
right? So, I can understand where you're coming from, but I disagree with because.
But let's think it on a bigger scale. Like
Pause this for
you
2
have,
seconds.
you have. Hold on. Where are you going?
It's pause it for 2 seconds, please.
What?
Just pause.
Oh, we haven't been recording.
Fuck off. And we just had to punch in. Listen, we just came to we sat here and talked for about 5-10 minutes, and we just decided that
That's the fucking worst.
we have
I
been.
thought he was gonna be discreet
no,
about.
I'm not being discreet about this.
I
Listen,
thought you were gonna be discreet
we
about
had-
ending the subject.
No.
And we talked, and we're ending the subject.
Listen, we're gonna end this because listen, we could go around like just like you said, Will.
You
Stop,
bamboozled
shut up,
me,
shut
dog.
up for 2
You
seconds.
bamboozled me.
What I'm saying is that we could go around in circles and have this make this be an echo chamber and argue about the same fucking thing in a different way. 2 + 2 = 4, or 3 + 1, just like you guys fucking said, right? Or we can move on with this.
Okay, so
All
let's
right.
have final thing.
No, I don't want final
2
thoughts. I want-
seconds, quick,
no,
and
no.
then go.
I there was something I wanted to say before that, and we got off track a little bit, but
Just a little.
just a fucking little. Yeah, fuck it.
Are you upset?
No, I'm just whatever.
He's mad now. Like we started off good.
I'm not mad. What I'm disappointed.
Uh-huh.
More in myself mostly.
We're disappointed in you too.
with you guys as well.
Oh, behave.
But I'm disappointed because
Oh, behave.
I keep,
Back.
and actually I'm very proud of us as well at the same time.
Oh, behave.
Dog, like you are really ambiguous, and it's pissing me off.
Well, I'm gonna get there if you
It's
give me
definitely your ambiguity really pisses me off sometimes. Like, dog, how I'm really disappointed not really disappointed, somewhat disappointed, but I'm not really disappointed. But I'm proud, but not really proud, but somewhat proud in me. But all of us, but maybe just you and some of us.
What I'm trying to say is this: we had a disagreement about where this was going, and I'm disappointed that we had to cut the whole recording off so we could settle this. That was my decision.
Okay.
What I'm proud about is that we tout this podcast as a podcast for debate, and that's exactly what we had tonight.
It was delicious.
There's 3 different arguments in this room leading to the same conclusion. And what I really wanted to do was make sure that our listeners knew that not only are we arguing about things very heatedly, there's arms flying, there's voices being raised, there's people walking out of the room.
I pounded the furnace, and you're the only one that
I thought I was going to get kicked in the face.
Right, and what I want to
By
say is that
myself.
we are people, we are friends that have known each other for 20 years, and this is still what happens on debates like this,
Well, yeah.
right? So imagine.
I wouldn't say heated. Like I'm not. Nobody has feelings. over
We'll
it.
say
No,
animated.
we don't have, there's no animosity between us.
Yeah,
It was just
there's no
animated.
feelings whatsoever.
It's just animated, right? That's how we got, right? But it's to the point where we have topics that are, I don't want to say controversial. We have topics that are that we hold very dearly. We have opinions of them very dearly.
Yeah.
We hold them very, very close to our chest. And what we have to do is learn to accept somebody else's opinion of it, like I just did with John's and with Will's, and was like, okay, and just like Will said, we are arguing about the same things. There's just a different way to get there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big deal with society these days. That we're arguing the same thing and on the
Yeah,
same
sometimes
side.
we need to just listen.
Sometimes we need to just listen.
Yeah.
So listen, I apologize for the last,
Who are you
cutting that out.
apologizing to?
No, I'm apologizing because we didn't record the whole thing. That's because I had to say something off air that was that shouldn't be said on air.
They wouldn't have known. I'm a master with the editing.
All right. Well, I had to say it.
I want to add on to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, hey, how you doing?
Who's that, Petra?
Yeah.
What's
So-
good, P?
Sometimes I don't even. That's bless. I don't even care if. What did you say? Like
If we argue, if we don't argue.
and then at the end it's like we have to accept each other's opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't respect the shit that y'all say as far as opinions.
But as
I
humans,
respect it to the point. I respect it to the point where it's like, okay, that's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna sway me, but I'm not gonna.
Sometimes
But
we sway you.
will we king tech you?
I'm cooling with my niggas on the wake up show. You ain't gonna dance this way. Fuck it. Like so, maybe that's the wrong way to put it. Because not okay.
You
So
don't know. You don't know.
so
Sway.
listen-
You don't know the precious Sway.
Dog, I'm an expert at editing, but when every time you bang the table, it fucks with me every time I have these shits. Okay, cool. This is gonna be a fucked up podcast. Your games are gonna
You're
be all
welcome.
the way down. It's gonna be like podcast B.
Yeah, you need to.
Yuck. So but no. So saying that I don't respect your opinions is the wrong way to say it.
Maybe just agree with.
No, yeah,
no,
I there's a lot of things that y'all
We don't agree
have
with
that I
anything.
don't agree with.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to agree with what y'all are saying.
No, you don't have to.
respect what y'all are saying.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
no,
Yeah,
exactly.
Agreed.
Does that make
100% agreed. But I
Like-
disagree with you. I'm kidding.
Yeah, and we always walk away from disagreeing. But I think the thing is, people take offense when they're not agreed with,
Yeah.
Right. Instead of listening to the other person.
and that's why we have specific algorithms in social media. That's why we have cultural bias.
Right.
That's why we have subconscious racial bias.
That's why we have the most
Because we're not
divided.
listening.
segue.
That's why we have
Not
the most
because we're not-
divided
no,
nations.
not because we're not
in
listening,
history.
because we want to stick with what we think will agree with us.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Stay with the
We want that
norm.
confirmation bias.
Yes.
Yeah.
See how
No,
I did that?
I feel you. You know what? There's something I heard years ago, and it always stuck with me. Fools talk, but the wise listen.
Exactly.
Right.
First thing I told you guys when you guys both got on this podcast, I said, "Listen, I'm not the smartest person in the world. Neither are you, and neither is John. But all of us have this innate ability to say I don't know when we don't know.
True that.
That is the mark of very intelligent people, and that's why we've been able to do this podcast the way we have. Because if we don't know, we say we don't know.
And
we're-
if you don't know now, you know.
yeah, and we're able to let
Big up.
we're able to let other people not influence us, but give us.
Wait, you sure you good?
Give me the fucking vodka, nigga. But to be able to allow other people to give us the facts or to research it ourselves before moving on with the conversation.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna sound stupid. This is gonna make me the fool in the room.
Always do.
This is gonna make me the fool in the room. But
You're welcome.
I purposely don't research, and I just come with opinion, just to see if A, I could be swayed, or B, if I could learn.
Right.
Because I really feel like if I came in with a whole bunch of research,
You'd have your mind made up.
I'd have my
already.
mind made
Do
up.
you honestly
and
feel
it would be boring as fuck.
Do
But
you
if I have an opinion on something and Vex is like, well, you know that there's so many things that you and Vex that you're like, well, this, and this, and this, and you hit me with the numbers, you hit me with the sites. I look the shit up. I'm like, yo, da, da, da. And there's been times when I'm like, you know what? I think I'm leaning more on your side, or I think that my position may be the same position, but I'm a little more loose on it because of what I have, or I'm a little more understanding to the other side. I'm not so hard set on it. So I think sometimes, for me, it's a lot better when I don't research and I don't come to an opinion, even if I have the facts. Because then if I come with the facts, there's really no discussion about it because we
all have
the same facts.
Yeah.
And then it's like an 8-minute podcast.
Well, that's the thing is where even if you could have the facts, you could interpret the facts in a different way, right? In a different
Sometimes,
manner.
yeah.
And that's and another thing that's why it gets to how society's so fucked up these days too, because even scientific theories or scientific papers can be read and analyzed in a different way, right? And have people have different opinions on what that means. And
like scientific papers, and not even theories, but scientific
peer-reviewed papers,
they get debunked all the time because
Yeah.
of technology getting better and
exactly.
mistakes in research and all that type of shit.
Yeah, like I found out the other day Finland didn't exist.
Yeah, did you see that?
There has to be some kind of reason why this is not funny to
That's
me.
fucking, I thought you saw the video. That's fucking hilarious, dog. Last
Yeah,
week,
there's a theory going
there's a
around. now
theory going around that
doesn't
Finland
exist.
doesn't exist.
Anyway, that's for another
So
podcast.
no, wait, what?
And that there's a hollow Earth, and that we didn't go to the moon, and that
No, I
the
fucks
Earth
with-
is
I fucks
flat.
with- I don't-
I know you do. You're a fucking idiot.
I don't
do that
fucks
shit.
with Hollow Earth,
No,
but
you fucks with no. We didn't go to
I
the moon.
fucks with people.
That's 'cause
I
you're an
fucks
idiot.
With
the conspiracy theory shit.
Ejud.
Yeah.
Like hollow. I don't think like the Earth is like hollow.
Well, y'all niggas think
but
duppies are
I
real.
do feel like
Duppies
people
are
like went
real.
underground. There's underground shit, dude. Listen to me. My grandmother talks to me every fucking night. When I tell you duppies are real,
That's
duppies
a psychotic
are real.
episode. Get pills.
No, it's not a psychotic episode.
Nigga.
Like, can I tell you something?
You can tell me whatever you want. Doesn't mean I have to
Okay.
listen.
Sometimes duppies talk to you through shit you see every day. You just haven't stopped to notice the shit. And I wanted to tell you that, like 2 weeks ago, you have been going so hard. You need to stop
And listen to the
and
duppies.
just not even listen to the duppies. Listen to the wind. Listen to the trees. Listen to the snow falling. Listen to the nothing.
Listen to your heart when she's calling
So I'm
for you.
supposed to listen to nothing.
Listen, and you know what though? It sounds stupid now, but when you actually do it,
Just
when
right
you
now?
do it, if you sit and listen to the nothing, dude, guaranteed you're gonna text me and be like, "Well, I know exactly what you're talking."
You know what
about.
that is? That's called self-reflection.
No, because you're not self-reflecting. I don't even want you to listen to it and think about what you're doing. I just want you to sit and listen to the gift we were given. Don't listen. Don't
The
self-reflect.
fuck does that mean?
You know what? You won't understand until you do it. And you don't even have to be a religious person. I'm not saying listen to God. I'm not.
No.
But I truly believe people that have passed that love us talk to us through things that we miss because we're too busy. We need to stop. And it's like the whole stop and smell the roses type thing. You just need to stop and listen to nothing.
All right. Well, you're as fucked up as Kobe believing in religion too. So.
Thank you.
When you do it, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, bro, I know exactly."
Listen,
what
I might do it and be like, "Holy fuck, I'm gonna eat my words," but
I know
I don't.
exactly what
You
you're
know what?
talking
I
about.
respect you guys. I love you guys, but we all have different feelings on those things, right? So, and
Yeah.
that's
Then this isn't the dog. This isn't spiritual. This isn't
exactly
anything.
what you're saying,
No, it's
spiritual
the only way I can explain it to where
It's
it makes sense. It's
spiritual.
spiritual, but it doesn't even have to be spiritual. Sometimes you just need to stop
So
and
wait,
listen
wait,
to
wait.
nothing.
So let me understand this. It's not spiritual, but the only way you could explain it is spiritual.
Yeah. Sometimes if something isn't something, but in order for someone to comprehend it, you got to put something on top of it.
No, okay,
I think what Will is trying to say is in order to understand it, you need to experience it.
Yeah.
okay,
But-
that makes sense.
But the only way I can explain it to you.
Is for you to
Is
get
that
you to
way.
try to experience it. Yeah.
I've had things like
Do you
that.
know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what
Does
you
that make
mean,
sense?
Yeah.
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 You don't have to be spiritual or religious. It's just we were given a gift.
You
We walk on it every day.
You telling me to slow down and
You definitely, I definitely
take
feel
note.
like I definitely feel like you should slow down. I'm not saying stop or anything like that and stop doing what you're doing, but I really feel like, especially with not to get into it.
yo, why you bogarting the dream, man?
No, it's not the dream. Like I'm telling you, like we've had conversations,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna get into them because that's nobody else's business.
Right.
But I truly feel you need to just not stop doing what you're doing, but just even if it's 10 minutes, and just realize,
Kind of like a little meditation. You know?
yeah, just realize.
You know what? I get you because I've been saying that when I used to go when I was a CrossFit athlete and when I used to go to the gym every morning, I felt this. It was almost like I would meditate after every not meditate, but you just lay.
You
on
calm
the floor,
down, yeah, you
calm
wind down,
you
yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel anything spiritual like you were saying or hear anything, things like that. But I would just be more centered. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like I feel like I do feel like my grandmother talks to me.
So,
because
what you're
every
saying
That's
is-
a very African belief. by
What
the
you're
way.
saying
Yeah.
is, Pernell, you're a
It is.
fat ass. Go to the fucking gym and work out.
Yes.
No, well, yeah, I'm not saying you're a fat ass, but I'm saying just if you want to go to gym workout, go to gym workout and holler at me.
We were just trying
I
to be
go-
nice about it.
Yeah, I try and go.
Is this
before
an
every
intervention?
podcast.
What's happening right now?
No, I just feel like you know what. There's a lot. There's some things I want to talk to you about before we go. Not on here. But I definitely feel like you need to have more faith in the people that have faith in you. You need to have more faith in the energy you're putting out. And if you throw a tennis ball against the wall, you need to understand that that tennis ball is going to come back. I feel like you just keep throwing tennis balls.
I do too.
Yeah. And I feel like you need to stop and be like, the tennis balls are coming back. Let me chill for a second.
All right.
Does that make sense?
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Okay. Because yeah, can we continue to go? You're getting me on. Like, let's go.
I say
pause
let's
thing.
let's
Different
wrap
thing.
it because we've
Let's
been on this
wrap
for
it
like
up.
2
No,
hours.
it was good
Fucking
because
hour and 55. This is the second one. We did that.
I know I
the
really
other
wanted,
day.
and I really wanted to give him a 2-hour episode to give him a little extra because it's our 6-month anniversary, right? So our 6-month half anniversary.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think
6 month
I don't think we
anniversary is
needed like
fine.
18
Yeah.
minutes on what I felt like I needed you to do. Though.
I know.
It's not even a subject. Can we
Appreciate
cut
that. No, leave it in there. It's all good. Listen, thank you guys. I cannot believe it's been 6 months and we haven't quit and you guys haven't left. I cannot believe the outpouring of support you guys have showed from us. I can't believe that not only are we an official company now, but we are and one of those elite podcasts. I use that word specifically.
Ay. Throwback to the
Elite and
2 keys.
Yeah, you know, it's I love it, man. I love you guys. Thank you for all your comments, for all your concerns, all your messages, messages of hate and love, because I do take everything personally. If you're on the podcast Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, I will reply to you 1,000,000%. I always do. I'm literally up 21 hours a day just to respond to you guys and to do whatever we need to do here for the studio. So I thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. A lot of you have been asking how you can help support this podcast. The best way to support
Money.
us. No, not even money. The best way to support us is go to iTunes or wherever the hell you're listening. Give us a 5-star review and give us an honest review. Do that. Help us climb the charts. Get the name out more. Share the Facebook post. Share the Twitter. Share the Instagram.
Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends,
Right,
listen
and
to
that's-
us. Don't
I know you're gonna hear
yeah.
about that all the time, but it really, really helps more than money. We have money. We don't give a fuck.
And
Money's money.
If you share, you like, you subscribe, you let us know. Like, just let us know. We'll shout you out on here. If you have
You can come up here and say
a
what's up.
topic, yeah, come here, say what's up. If you have a topic you want us to touch on, if you just want us to say, like, I'll be the Venus flytrap. I'm like, hey, today their birthday shout out goes to.
That's true.
That's a WKF.
And again,
I'll
I'll
be Johnny Fever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I'm talking
baby.
about. Yeah, bro.
on the real though, I do want to shout out. I do want to shout out my boy Jonathan Stewart. Like
My
again,
bad.
My boy Jonathan Stewart again, the number one listener, the number one supporter we have. I appreciate you, man. You've been my boy for like 20 years, man. I love you like my brother. Anything you need, I got you. And with that,
We go on.
we out this motherfucker.